from within thyself towards God.
And I can tell God things that I wouldn't tell anybody else.
And the means also of deriving power for your own life.
And once people pray together, they encourage one another, they support one another.
Encourage one another more and more in the presence of God.
I do feel empowered. Prove prayer to be a great thing in my life.
Make a start at the World Day of Prayer service on Friday, the 5th of March.
The 1993 Foster's Cup, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP, On the Move, Nike, Foster's, RACV, Black Douglas and Vulcan. Fitzroy are the reason that home side Geelong is missing from this Foster's Cup match against Footscray this afternoon here at Kardinia Park. The Lions are here thanks to a spirited performance against the Cats a fortnight ago at Waverley and the subsequent 2-goal victory. Surely few sides have brushed aside threats of extinction like the Roys, and no one knows their fighting spirit better than Footscray. After all, the two teams came close to merging a few years back. This match should be a highlight of the competition. Two young teams prepared to have a go, both keen to impress their loyal fans and bolster their bank accounts. For Footscray, there's the incentive of a first Foster's Cup Grand Final appearance down the track. For Fitzroy, perhaps the chance to go one better than the runners-up check in 1992. Today, however, is the first quarter-final of the Foster's Cup. It features Fitzroy and Footscray here on the neutral ground of Kardinia Park.
And a very good afternoon, everyone, from Kardinia Park, Geelong. Bright sunshine for the first of the quarterfinals between Footscray and Fitzroy. And of course, this is the second match we've had here at Kardinia Park, Geelong in less than 24 hours. Late yesterday, we had the final first round match, and that was between Essendon and Brisbane. And despite a spirited fight back by the Bears late in the second quarter, they ultimately went down to the Bombers 16-17, 113 to the Brisbane Bears 11-10, 76. So appropriately, a time to check the draw for the quarterfinals in the Foster's Cup, and it looks like this. The match we're going to be seeing this afternoon is at the top of the list. Footscray to tackle Fitzroy, and then on Wednesday night, the defending title holders Hawthorn, who had the bye in the first round, they tackle Richmond, who of course defeated the Sydney Swans in the first round at Lavington. The bottom half of the draw is like this. Melbourne will meet the West Coast head-on, and the Adelaide Crows, after their good win over North Melbourne during the week, will play Essendon, last night victorious over Brisbane. If you're having a bet on the Foster's Cup, the odds are like this. Hawthorn and the West Coast are the equal favourites at 9-4 at the top of the list, followed by Adelaide moving up to 4-1, Footscray 11-2, Essendon at 7s, Melbourne 12s, Fitzroy 20-1 and Richmond at 33-1 to play Hawthorn next Wednesday night. Let's check how they actually got to the quarterfinals. Both of these matches were played at Waverley. Footscray defeating Carlton in a thriller by only 2 points, and then Fitzroy in an also very exciting match accounted for Geelong, the Lions victorious by 12 points. Leading the sides this year, Terry Wheeler, the coach at Footscray, Robert Shaw, the coach at Fitzroy, Doug Hawkins has been appointed captain for the season at the Western Oval. Alistair Lynch was going to be the acting captain for Fitzroy today, but just looking out there on the ground, I can see Paul Roos, so he is a late inclusion in the side, and I would therefore presume he is going to captain the Lions this afternoon. So a late change sprung by Fitzroy. They always do that in the Foster's Cup matches, a surprise, surprise. No surprise, the ground in magnificent condition, and we're ready for a good game. Ian Robertson and Don Scott.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Hello,
and
Pete.
Ian.
Yeah, good on you, Donny.
Well, let's take a look at the sides, gentlemen, and, well, as I mentioned, a couple of surprises, especially by Fitzroy.
Yes, I think Footscray, first of all, Peter, they beat Carlton, and out of that side are Quill, Tony Campbell and Colin Uke. Into that side come Callett, West and Grigic. Footscray to improve from their position last year. They need players like Ballantyne, West, Callett, Cameron Croft and Crediuke, who are all playing this afternoon to improve. their position. And of course we must mention that there are 4 interchange players on both sides this afternoon.
Well, 3 players out before we saw Paul Roos. There'll be a 4th player out of that squad. Abbott, who unfortunately broke an arm. Satori and Barrett from their first game, that was against Geelong. Paxman and Davis coming in, and they'll obviously share the ruck work, I think, with Matthews. Now, Matthews came in when Abbott went off, and it'll be interesting to see 3 against 1 in the ruck.
Well, both teams out on the ground, which is in pretty good condition despite the rain we had earlier this morning, and we'll be back for the bounce of the first quarter-final of the Fosters Cup in just a minute.
I'm Terry Wheeler of Footscray Football Club. I'd like all Bulldog supporters to stick with us right throughout 1993.
Just thought you'd like to know that the international version of the Australian-designed and Australian-built Mitsubishi Magna is now on sale in the USA.
Australia, don't miss this. Half price chicken and chips, quarter chicken, Red Rooster crispy chips.
Half price Monday, Tuesday.
At Red Rooster, half price Monday, Tuesday, chicken and chips.
In this box is a revolutionary way of cleaning. New Drive Power Scoop with enzymes. One small scoop does the whole wash.
Some stains never shift.
Greasy stains caused by oil locking dirt onto fibres. Only Drive's unique enzymes with biological action gently unlock, release and wash away the deepest dirt.
There's no dirt. There's no stain.
New Drive Power Scoop with enzymes. Cleans deep without harming fabrics, without stripping colours. It'll change what you mean by clean.
You must communicate. You must talk. Talk to your friends, your wives, your children, and above all, you must talk to your parents. Could you excuse me now for just a minute? Hello?
Reverend, on Sundays, anyone can call Telecom STD anywhere in Australia from home for just $1 for 5 minutes. Call your mum.
Just talk amongst yourselves there. Mummy, it's me.
Telecom STD. We're talking $1 for 5 minutes.
The beautiful song by Elton John. Just one of the greatest love songs ever recorded on this new release, The Very Best of That Loving Feeling. Dan Hill's classic and Boris Gardner's 30 unforgettable love songs. Roberta Flack and Peebo Bryson. This is a very special collection. Now you can have the very best of that loving feeling on 2 great CDs only from Concept.
Welcome back to Kardinia Park. Gerard Healy and Peter McKenna on the boundary line today. Let's go down to Gerard now with the Mitsubishi Motors ground report. Gerard?
Thanks very much, Peter. Just another change that we've picked up from Fitzroy. Darren Wilkinson's out on the ground. Michael Gale is not playing. He was named, obviously hasn't come up from his ankle injury at Waverley a week ago. Not much wind down here at Kardinia Park. Ground in pretty good condition, so no goal advantage. It will probably favour left of screen later in the day when that wind swings around. The ground's a little bit slippery at present after a brief shower, but drying out quite quickly and not too bad. There is more showers forecast, as is a thunderstorm, so conditions may deteriorate. Current temperature 17, the expected top is 20, and the humidity is 58%.
Right, thanks, Gerard. And the Fosters Cup, 4 20-minute quarters. With the time on added as soon as the boundary and goal umpire signal. No drawn games. We have extra time, 2 by 5 minute periods. And, of course, the umpires are mic'd during the Fosters Cup. Quick selections, Don.
Well, I find this a very hard game because both very tenacious, but just looking on paper, you'd have to maybe go for Fitzroy, Footscray, because they've got a few more stars than Fitzroy.
First quarter final of the Fosters Cup, Footscray and Fitzroy from Kardinia Park. Wind, not really a clean possession. Ball scooped over the top of the pack. Centre of the ground in pretty good condition. Kellett went down rather solidly. No free kick from the umpire. A play on call and players going in very solidly to try and gain a clean possession. Jamie Elliott there for Fitzroy, and asked to get up, and we'll see another bounce just wide of the centre circle. In fact, only about a couple of metres.
Davis in the ruck against Wine.
And Wine, well, simply too tall. Guard. We've got it about another metre away from the centre circle. And it's an all-in job this time. He might pluck a free kick out of it, I think. It's a good bounce, indicating the ground in particularly good condition. Guard again tries to flip it out. And finally for Footscray, it was Matthew Croft trying to kick it forward. And so it's a Bulldog ball. Cameron, slightly built. Ballantyne, nearly a juggle. He gets a second chance. Will he get onto his left foot? Snap with the right. Seacamp, and he'll rush it through for only one behind. That's ahead of Scott West. So the first score of the game, a minor to Footscray, the interchange bench for Footscray.
Interesting to see Fitzroy seeing Ross Lyon there. Ross didn't have a good game last time out against, was it Carlton? No, they played Geelong, wasn't it?
Yep,
Geelong, and didn't have a good game that day.
Well, the kick in goes to the far half-back flank region for Fitzroy, but a good mark taken out there by Croft. And I'm sure if he's taken his position in the original 20, Footscray will be looking for him to be a key player in 1993. A chance now for Fitzroy to get clear through Boyd. Boyd's kicked back in the centre, the mark taken by Wallace. Handballs away. Taken now for Footscray by Krediuk. Krediuk's kick to right half forward, but it's broken down. Strong in defence is Wilkinson, and he's held around the neck and he takes the free kick. Handball away. Opportunity for Broderick. Little kick, not too bad. Taken by Armstrong. Two left footers, and they're very key players for Fitzroy. Roos held. Certainly held. And Peter Foster not happy. Play on, says the umpire, and it really wasn't to Fitzroy's advantage because Wine has kicked it behind.
Umpire in the right position there, explaining to Peter Foster that he was holding.
So both teams opening their scoring with a behind. Dougie Hawkins at left half-back flank, transferring play up to centre wing. Wallace, the ball driven downfield towards left half-forward flank. Marking contest down there. Getting underneath the ball was Danny Delray. Paddled towards the boundary line, takes it over, and a throw in to take place about 65 to 70 metres round from Footscray's goal.
Interesting, Peter, that Delray there on screen is the leading full forward. Ballantyne stays in the goal square.
Coleman. Stevens looks for the hand pass. Broderick. Ball came back that time to Matthew Dundas. Missed by McCarthy. Hawkins does the tidying up work. Mansfield, another left footer. Takes it with his right towards the edge of the square. There's a whistle before Atkins took the mark. There'll be a free kick going Footscray's way anyway to Kellett. Kellett up towards right half forward, kicks inside 50, marking contest down there. Ballantyne couldn't bring it down. Seacamp almost into the back of his opponent, gets backup support from guard, and a stalemate develops about 15 metres out from Footscray's goal. 16.5 minutes left in the opening term.
Doug Hawkins playing up on centre wing as a loose man. They did this last year in the finals, and it worked in the first half, or first quarter especially, at the MCG. I wonder if it's going to work today for them.
Coleman taps down, guard, quick kick out of defence up towards the 50-metre line. Croft can't take a clean possession. Plenty of Footscray jerseys there. Cameron, Atkins, the Brownlow medalist, Wine, 65 metres out. Hawkins runs into trouble, gets out of it. Dummies the hand pass, then gives it away to Atkins. They're building something here. Croft, can he make something of it? A little bit too slow. Excellent tackle coming up from Boyd. Croft barging his way through. Out of bounds. Free kick, says the umpire to Fitzroy.
And
that's amazing. 2
chances then, didn't he?
Well, it's amazing that Wine started that off with a handball and it's finished up in their forward pocket. Nobody got a foot to the ball. Maybe a kick would have been better somewhere along the line.
Well, guard has the football at centre half back. A couple of hand passes for Fitzroy. And in trouble was Wilkinson, but he did well in the finish to bash it about 15 or 20 metres towards the Fitzroy goal. Coleman overrunning it, perhaps a little slippery in the centre of the ground. Number 25 for Fitzroy is McCarthy. His hand pass over to Dundas. Dundas's kick. Oh, a high leap there by Lynch. Well, Fitzroy have got 2 of their key defenders, Roos and Lynch, and both of them opening on the forward line in this first quarter.
And Fleming came off second best in that marking contest too.
Right half forward for Fitzroy. Number 10 is Brad Davis. Ball comes down to centre half back. And a tap over by Mansfield. Wallace combines with Cameron. Cameron's little kick looking for Hawkins. Punching it away was Morris. But a free kick has been picked out of it. And it's going to that, well, evergreen, you'd have to call him now, Dougie Hawkins. Handball away to Mansfield. Mansfield's kick to left half forward is marked by Del Rey.
Danny Del Rey in the thick of things already. So is Atkins. Kicks from just the edge of the square. Didn't get the distance he desired. And a good mark taken down there by guard. Oh, it's Caven, I think, yes. So Caven, who had a good season last year, kicks wide. Morris makes good position on his own defensive 50-metre line. Kicks downfield. Hawkins nearly stopping the run there. It was Seacamp who tried to get clear. Finally affects the hand pass. This is Morris. Morris chips it in short, goes to the outer side. Matthew Dundas, another of the Assumption College lads who's done well in VFL/AFL football. This is Wind. Up towards full forward. That's a ruse. Dragged off. It would have to be a free kick against Foster, wouldn't it, Don?
Well, why would Peter Foster be arguing the point there?
Well, I suppose that's just an act of frustration, I suppose. Peter really did know what he did wrong. You can see there the harm over the shoulder, but that's good positioning by Roos because that's the second free kick he's received like that by putting his body in front.
30 metres out, directly in front. Roos shoots a goal and gets it.
Got to get the wheels in motion.
Get your wheels in motion and get on down to BP now. Come in 4 times and spend $20 or more a visit and we'll give you 2 air tickets to one of 10 fabulous Australian destinations free. Minimum accommodation purchase required. That's right, 2 air tickets free. BP, on the move.
Back in the centre, there's Peter Foster with Paul Roos. The goal kicker was Roos. Wind, can't get the ball clear. Kick off the ground, eventually coming from Broderick. Ooh. Ball at centre half forward. Chance for Fleming. Now an opportunity for Elliott, one of Fitzroy's more promising young players. The kick, well, a little ordinary from Jamie Elliott. And getting back for the Bulldogs was Krediuk. And he knocks it through for a rush behind to Fitzroy.
Alistair Lynch already appreciating the liberty of going onto the forward line, moving much better. He's all at sea last time against Brownless at full-back.
Hunter takes the kick in, comes towards Callett and Baldwin. Baldwin has the footy and eventually, under harassment from Nigel Callett, the ball is forced over right near the players' interchange area. And we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Boundary throw-in on centre wing. Morris takes the hand pass from Broderick, chips it in short towards the centre, and Wine well short of the centre circle to take the kick. That's your little player, goes in hard. That's a good long roost. Probably with the slight assistance of the wind. McCarthy at the back of the pack couldn't take it. Backup support from Stevens. Good hand pass. Chance for Fleming. 35 metres out. Kicks into the man on the mark, and so a chance for Footscray. This is Krediuk. Krediuk, his own defensive 50-metre line. Kicks it straight to the opposition, and Roos. And the mark to Lynch.
Well, he let his opponent under the ball well, also assisted his opponent by a little bit of a shove or a push as he went for the ball, Alistair Lynch. You might just see his opponent go out of screen there. Bernard Tui just being edged under by Lynch. Lynch dropping back, taking a rather easy overhead mark.
So Roos got the first goal from a free kick. Lynch a little bit further out, different angle, a more difficult angle, and registers only a minor score. So behind are the Royals, who've been doing, well, most of the attacking, as the scoreboard indicates. 1-3 to 1 behind.
Tell you who's been quiet, Don Liberatore. I know the game's only about 10 minutes old, but...
he's picking up Dundas. Actually, it's a good battle between those two.
Dundas has had a couple of possessions, hasn't he?
3 kicks, yep.
So ball back into play. Broderick in front. Atkins roves it beautifully. Another Kevin Bartlett in his heyday. Down towards half forward. And Danny Delray, good use of the body. A chance to put Footscray deep into attack, which he does. Kicks to the pocket. Ballantyne tries for the specky. Couldn't take it. And the boundary umpire says throw it in, and the throw-in will take place pretty close to the 50-metre line. Robert Shaw looking on interestedly behind the glass, which is not frosted up at the moment. It's not raining. Boundary throw-in, Coleman and Davis.
And a good contest between the two big men. Diving on it is Broderick. Atkins doing the tackling. There's Liberatore for his first possession. Del Rey trying to shrug the tackle. Still got the football underneath, and perhaps a little fortunate there that he wasn't penalised.
Then he got one there, didn't he?
Two Fitzroy defenders determined to make him earn it. And
well, the free kick may have been just a little earlier than that. He slipped to ground, and that's when he copped the high one.
So play on now. Fitzroy combination. Armstrong, handball guard, in trouble, got rid of it quickly. Armstrong running on nicely. Oh, through comes Baldwin, well played. Terrific footy by Jason Baldwin. Away to Wine. Wine's kick up to full forward, falling over Tui, keeping his footing as Lynch. And Lynch, oh, well smothered by Tui. He was in trouble, Bernard Tui, but he got up quickly after falling over and effected a good smother.
Actually, he reminded me, Lynch, when he attacked the ball then of Bernie Quinlan, the way he moved.
And Bernard Tui asking the umpire, why didn't I get a free kick for a push in the back? None came. Mansfield should get there first and does. Opposition from Dundas. Is that a free kick? It is for a throw. Is that what was indicated?
No, deliberately out of bounds, I'd say.
Same result. Dundas gets the free. Oh, yes, he paddled it straight to the boundary line.
Guilty, Your Honour.
Umpire in good position to pick that up. Marking contest there. Tui at the back of the pack. Looks in pretty good form. Looks very fit, Bernard Tui. Playing on a ground he'd know pretty well. Coming from Geelong. There's a free kick going Footscray's way. Coleman unloads with a hand pass. This is Hunter. Hunter well up from half-back. Good long kick. And that might be a free kick to Grant. He was held long before the ball came down. Libba not having a good start. Armstrong cannons into him. Too high, says the umpire. And Liberatore will take the free kick outside 50.
Shaking your head, Don.
Yeah.
Brownlow medalist. Kicks into the square. Was that touched? It was, says the umpire. And off the hands of the pack. Caban having a little altercation there with his opponent. And one behind.
Lucky free kick to Liberatore.
I would have just said play on. Because Liberatore more or less went back into, I think it was Broderick, the fellow that gave away the free kick, and I would have just said play on because it was more hip met the top of the head.
Cavan's kick in. Coleman now kick off the ground by Callett. Oh, wonderful performance by Grant. Geez, an exciting player, Chris Grant. Kick into the goal square is equally as good. Summed that up very, very quickly, and West is marked in the goal square. Well, I know Footscray got some pretty big raps on this young fellow. He's only about 18 years of age. And he kicks from the square and he kicks Footscray's first goal.
Quincy, mia moglie per le scarpe. No, grazie.
Quincy, oh, Quincy! Quincy,
Play continues with Fitzroy 1 point in front. And the umpire will bounce it again. Armstrong, the last to get up. Ground's in particularly good condition despite the rain we had this morning. Centre a little bit gluey, but that's about it. Davis locks arms with Wine. Ball fisted up towards half forward. Chance for the Roys now. Broderick takes the hand pass from Elliott. Liberatore weaves his way through the pack. Kicks towards half forward. Hawkins at the back. Doesn't come down with the football. Coleman applies a tackle. And it will be a ball up, still inside the centre square. Umpires, as you can hear, working hard. He's not the greatest of bounces.
Pretty ordinary by Dougie Hawkins on Morris.
Morris to take the free kick. Gives the hand pass away. Armstrong kicks to the true centre half forward position. Hunter is down there. McCarthy looks different than a Fitzroy jumper, doesn't he? Ruse kicks at goal, and Tui will rush this through, or in fact try to. He might get a free kick from the umpire. He will. Doing some good work down there, Bernard Tui. Dundas stands the mark. Umpire tells him to step back. Mansfield in front. Stands his ground well. Takes the mark. Looks for Kellett, I thought, originally, but Coleman comes in behind him to take the mark in front of Brad Boyd. Glenn Coleman at right centre wing. Oh, kick straight into Boyd. Not long enough. Coleman again. Boyd again. McCarthy. Long hand pass, long looping hand pass. Wind, runs onto it. Well, oh, gets taken too high. A play on call. Snapshot for goal by Jamie Elliott is close. And a goal.
I am the solution to your problems.
There's a war going on here.
You get me close, I'll hit the mark. You're gonna be clean.
They don't take prisoners.
The star of the Untouchables. The star of Basic Instinct. In the action thriller of the year.
Did you take money?
Michael Douglas, Black Rain. Monday, 8:30 on 7.
Well, they nearly got the ball effectively clear from the centre again. They may still. Armstrong. Chance now for Broderick. His handball goes through the player there, Morrish. Oh, lovely kick by Guard, was it? To Roos, and Roos has spotted a player all on his own. It's Wine.
There were two of them free. There was Dundas and Wine. Fitzroy have made a change line coming on. He'll go half forward.
Gee, that's a bit of a bonus, isn't it? Having Ross Lyons start on the interchange bench.
And Guard, who initiated that attack, has gone off. So that's interesting, isn't it?
Wind for Fitzroy's third goal. It's pretty close. It looks all right. It's a goal. So Jimmy Wine kicks his first goal. Fitzroy get their third. They're 3-3. Footscray are 1-2.
Yes, well, at the moment they want the ball a little bit more. That's a trademark of the Fitzroy side. Again, it's not skill. I suppose you could excuse Armstrong on that occasion because he was just getting tackled as he tried to get rid of that ball. But that was good pass by Guard, and also good vision here by Roos to spot Wine, but also going out of screen was Dundas, who was loose by himself. So Liberatore's got to tighten up a little bit.
Wine, 5 kicks and 3 marks. He's been a very busy player so far. Davis wins that tap out against his much taller opponent. Race for the ball out here. Oh, Kellett let 1 or 2 go there. Baldwin giving him some pretty close attention. And Liberatore goes for the hand pass. Not a particularly good one. And it beats his teammate Scott West over the boundary line.
You are allowed to do that. That's an attempted tackle by Kellett.
Is that what it is, Don? Thank you very much.
With a clenched left fist.
I don't think I'd pinch the beer of either of those two guys in a pub. Coleman. Atkins. Hooks it around his body. Fickle bounce. And 2 Fitzroy players went for it. So it comes down to Hawkins, the man on his own. Grant, who took that brilliant mark earlier, gives it over to Danny Delray, who shoots, but I think he may have missed. And only 1 behind.
Nice build-up, wasn't it?
It was. Probably deserved better. So 1 behind to Footscray, 1-3. They trail Fitzroy 3-3 by 2 straight goals. So the dying stages of the first quarter. 6 minutes still to go. That is Wilkinson to bring the ball back. Good build of the lad. Doesn't get the distance he would have wanted. Wallace from Coleman to Liberatore. Looping hand pass over the top. Croft runs into a brick wall. And the umpire calling play on. It was touched. Wind knocks it down to 1, 2 or 3 teammates. Dundas should get there first if he doesn't get cleaned up. Finally affects the hand pass. And Fitzroy will get clear. Brad Boyd driving them out of danger.
Boyd's kick to centre half forward. No mark taken. Lyon rushing onto it. Good work there by Mansfield. Gets the hand pass away to Atkins. Atkins for Footscray. A high kick to left half forward. Too far for Grant. And up over the top was Wilkinson to tap the ball clear for a boundary throw in. Looks very much like Gary Kerr, doesn't
I
it?
thought that before as he was kicking out. Also the haircut helps, I suppose.
Left half forward for Footscray. And getting back is Stevens. Tackled by Atkins. Can Atkins keep it in? No, he can't. So 2 goals the difference in Fitzroy's favour. We saw yesterday the slight breeze favouring the end to which Fitzroy are kicking in this first quarter, and there was a windsock out on centre wing on the far side, giving us a little bit of a clue that it might be just in favour of the left-hand end. As Brett Stevens clears the ball for Fitzroy to centre wing. No mark taken. Good effort by Mansfield. Perhaps could have very nearly received a free kick, but we'll have a boundary throw in.
Right in front of that windsock, pardon me, that Robbo was speaking about. Wind, it was Wind that won it, down to Croft. Wallace, Mansfield, back to that same player. Kicked right on 50. Caven. Oh, Morris got one a little bit too high. Broderick. So a chain of hand passes. Oh, gee, that was almost a trip against... well, it should have gone to Boyd. Umpire says play on. All tapped down to Mansfield again. Atkins up behind, tries to spoil. Fitzroy to Wallace, the two veterans combining well. Oh, and a lovely pass. Ballantyne marks it right on 50. He's got to play on now. Dundas will nearly catch him, will he? Morris is there. Hawkins giving backup support. Long hand pass. They lose 20 metres. Picked up by Coleman. Wallace slips catch. Lovely mark. So it could have come unstuck for Footscray. Determined to play on at all costs. Croft. That's a good long roost. Inside the square. Marking contest. Seacamp comes down with the football. Gives it over to Stevens. And they should be able to clear this Fitzroy, which they do. Ball driven back towards the 50-metre line, and Armstrong, who's playing well, been in the thick of things quite a lot in the first quarter. Towards McCarthy now. Crediok's nearly got him. But Fitzroy through Jamie Elliott, who's already kicked one goal, kicks it inside 50. Ruse couldn't take the mark. Some soccer work there by Foster. Oh, Cameron got one too high. And Cameron will get up to take the kick. Looks back to see who knocked him, and I don't think he knows.
Oh, Ross Lyon, there he is going through. Geez, laid out some heavy bumps in his time, Ross.
Things becoming a bit heated, Don. Ooh. Mansfield and Ruse. Obviously don't like each other's deodorant.
And Lyon with the ball. Interesting, the instigator, but then again it was all fair. It was fair what he did. He just lined the fellow up, hip and shoulder. He was just lucky he went to ground.
Kicks into the man on the mark. That'll be 50. He went over the mark, yes.
Matthew Mansfield will really have to keep his head now because he showed his act of frustration earlier.
Over the mark by about 2 metres.
And now the 50 metres, definite goal here for Lyon.
Before you decide on a home loan,
Hello? Excuse me.
there are some questions worth asking.
Can your bank give you everything you need to know about home loans, along with a loan calculator?
Oh, I don't think our bank's got anything like that.
That calculator thing would be handy for figuring out how much you can afford.
Can your bank give you everything you need to know about home loans? Westpac can. Call now to find out more.
So back in the centre with Fitzroy getting their 4th goal. They lead by 3 goals. Bulldogs 1-3, Fitzroy 4-3, and the Lions playing just slightly the better football at this stage. No one can really break clear, so the umpire will call for a bounce. Just forward of the centre circle in Footscray's forward half. Ruckman contested. Liberatore can't get an effective hand pass. Baldwin trying to crack his way through and wind, and eventually...
Playing with confidence, Baldwin. I was impressed with that run down last time out against Geelong on centre wing when that game had to be won, but also he's really going in harder at the ball.
Well, I think that's one of Fitzroy's very strong areas. Lyon, great handball. Away to McCarthy. McCarthy's kick to centre half forward. West, handball away. Chance now for Stephen Wallace. That's good kick by that player. Up towards half forward. Hawkins can't take the mark. He goes in after it and they trundle over the top of him. And Hawkins gets a free kick. The Footscray fans, ironical cheers. Wallace, lovely little kick. Beautiful play there because he spotted Kellett. Kellett kicks quickly. Not quite the length. Goal, Del Rey. Yes.
Well, Danny will breathe a bit easier, Scotty, won't he? Because he missed one before that he certainly should have kicked.
Yes, and the Del Rey by himself. Watching this build-up here. Good play by Wallace. He just shrugged as the tackle was being laid. There's the high ball. Maybe it was Ballantyne, no, Grant there that should have held it. He did have the sit. But Del Rey getting away, kicking his first. 1-1 to Del Rey.
Minute and a half left in the first quarter. A belated goal to Footscray. Staying in touch. Davis. Good 25-metre punch away. McCarthy.
Kicks inside 50. Hunter knocks the ball down in front of him. Croft. Good hand pass and good backing up by Footscray players down there in defence. Cameron's kick comes out towards Grant.
He certainly does move well. Very, very quick, Grant, for a big fellow.
And that was an excellent mark, but not quite as good as the one he took on the boundary line at the other end of the ground earlier in the quarter. Wallace starting to come into his own late in the first term. The evergreen veteran. Oh, spectacular mark from Delray. Set himself for that one. Came from behind, and if he can convert here, Footscray will get to within a kick just on the siren, because we've got less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Here's the mark again.
Well, he had the sit, as you can see there. We all know, if you played a little bit of football, how Caven felt being underneath that ball. But a very accurate kick, or he was last year. I said this last time out against Carlton, Delray, and he let me down. But last year, a very accurate kick for goal.
Distance no problem. The angle may be. Goal umpire says full points. Delray gets his second, close to the siren, and the Bulldogs come a little bit closer, 3-3 to 4-3.
He kicked 70-odd goals last year, Danny Delray, and he was a find for them up on the forward line. Somebody who would convert, also somebody you could kick to and know that he would convert. 2 goals in the first quarter, working out well, combining with Ballantyne up there. Delray prepared to move around, which is good for a forward.
Yes, they've got a very good setup, the Bulldogs, up on that forward line. The ball bounced back in the centre. Wine gets the tap out, but it's taken away by Armstrong. He can't break clear. Now a little tap to the advantage of Lyon, who runs into a bit of trouble. Ross Lyon on the bottom of the pack. Handball, Davis, Armstrong, and then Boyd. But the siren sounds to end the very entertaining first quarter between Footscray and Fitzroy. And Fitzroy lead by 6 points at quarter time.
Coffee and a sausage roll, please.
I know what you have by now.
Thanks.
What do you do anyway?
I'm with the RACV and...
Hey, that's the... What am I going to do now, right? And then that great big tree comes smashing through the roof of the house.
Yeah, that's right. That's the house and contents insurance.
With the
emergency home assist. Yeah, that's right. But that's not what I do.
Every time I see that guy get whacked in the eye with that fish sinker, I go... Ah!
That's Aussie Assist. And
that comes with the comprehensive car insurance.
Motorist needs help.
You with them? You bet.
Doesn't talk much.
It's not just another insurance company. It's the RACV.
10 years with Labor. Our living standards have dropped. The recession we had to have has left over 1 million unemployed. 39 small business and personal bankruptcies fall every day. We owe over $200 billion overseas. For 10 years, Labor has been pulling the rug from under our feet. 10 years is long enough. Labor's got to go.
Authorised by A-Rob, Liberal Party, Canberra.
Now you can enjoy all the goodness of your favourite Buttercup bread, baked and delivered fresh 6 days a week. And because Buttercup is Australian-owned and baked with wholesome Australian ingredients, it's as good for Australia as it is for you.
Buttercup, help make 'em strong.
Who is Melbourne's fastest growing retailer? The Furniture Spot. And to celebrate the opening of their new store in Brooklyn, they've got crazy bargains. Like entertainment units, just $249. Crystal cabinets a crazy $399. Coffee tables are just $39. Bedside tables an insane $19. And TV video cabinets $39. The Furniture Spot. Fairfield, Melton, Dandenong, and now in Brooklyn.
Spot on the top value, the Furniture Spot.
Crunchy potato wedges now come with 2 pieces of spicy skin-free chicken, which should really get your taste buds soaring. Red.
Yeah, that sister of mine, when she had that prank, she said the RACV saved her a lot of time on the phone.
Yeah, that's the claims hotline.
And they guaranteed the work too, for 3 years.
That's good.
It's not just another insurance company. It's the RACV.
It's a goal the difference at Kardinia Park. You said the Western Oval, but with Footscray and Fitzroy, and Footscray named first, you would expect that. And the goal kickers for Footscray, Delray 2 and Scott West has 1. And for the Lions, all singles, Ruse, Wine, Jamie Elliott and Ross Lyon. And a couple of reminders from the 7 Sports Diary. Don't forget the Australian Touring Car Championship, round 1 today from Amaroo Park. And that's immediately following the football. And water skiing returns to 7 next weekend, Sunday, March 7 and Monday, March the 8th. It is, of course, the long weekend in Victoria. Check your local guides, the details of coverage in your state. On the boundary line, let's go down to Gerard Healy and Peter McKenna.
Well, there was just a big roar from the Footscray camp, but I thought it was enthusiasm that they lacked early in the piece when they ran onto the ground. They looked a little bit lethargic, and perhaps that's been reflected on the scoreboard. Now, Peter, there was a bit of a how do you do just before quarter time.
Well, I don't think Robert Shaw was too happy, Gerard, with the last couple of goals that Footscray scored. He came down and he ripped into the emergency umpire about the AFL sending him lots of paperwork during the week about wrestling, and he said, why don't you get out there and do your job? He said, the instigator should be grabbed every time, get out there and do your job. And I don't think he was too happy, and I think it was more to do with the football side that they'd just given away 2 goals to the Bulldogs.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. And just before quarter time, we had a little bit of pushing and shoving, Don.
You see their C-camp going through. The pack, and also Matthew Armstrong had a bit to say to the umpire too, just on the break, and he was ordered back to the huddle. So feeling a little bit high, and that's good to see because they're taking the game seriously, both sides. And they're looking quickly at the statistics. They don't really tell you much, do they, stats? You know, you'd think that Fitzroy being in front on the scoreboard would have a little bit more to do with the ball, but Footscray cuts out about equal kicks count of the handballs, but maybe Fitzroy using it a little longer.
Centre breaks are important, I think. 5 to Fitzroy, 2. Bearing in mind Footscray have had 10 hit-outs to 6.
Second quarter of the Foster's Cup, first quarter final, Fitzroy leading by 1 goal. 4-3 to 3-3. Wind and Davis. Wind, too tall. Armstrong kicks it to the man in front of him. Wind from McCarthy. Wind for kick number 6. He's been pretty busy. One of Fitzroy's best players in the first quarter. Hunter.
Oh,
against
really?
Hunter.
Go on, Donny, say it. It's just body work between two players.
Well, that's what I thought
it?
on that occasion too, because you see a lot worse than that.
Fleming takes the free.
Now there's a free kick, surely.
Cameron on the run. Can he pick it up? He can. McCarthy's there for Fitzroy. The ball's still in play, I think. Not now.
So there's a little contradiction there because we saw a free kick out earlier going Footscray's way, and there the same thing happened. I think it was Tui that really got the push from Lynch, who was coming from behind, but the umpire didn't see it. Maybe a little inconsistent.
Wind with Davis. Brownlow medalist gets a clean possession, or Lyon should have taken that one. Came on late in the first quarter and, well, livened things up. Lynch at the back. I think Tui got a hand to that. He did. And so 1 behind. Registered to Fitzroy. Taking the Lions to 4-4. They lead by 7 points.
A good kick by Ross Lyon from about 50 metres out.
And a good effort by Tui. Tui coming back to the ground where he started his football.
And his kick-in is pretty good. He finds Croft at right half back. 4-4 to 3-3. Fitzroy leading by 7 points. Kick by Croft goes to the centre wing region where Stevens and Grant just see the ball over for a boundary throw-in. Beautiful conditions now here at Kardinia Park for a game of football. Davis, Wine gets the tap down. Grant can't quite control it. And Jimmy Wine, he seems to get a lot of free kicks. Is it because of his size?
I think he does put himself in. Jimmy is a real worker.
Broderick's high kick towards half forward. Punched away there by the Footscray defenders, and it goes over for a boundary throw. And there's Ross Lyon. Capable, loves getting into the middle of the action.
And capable of the spectacular, but also let you down in the critical moment too.
Wind and Davis. You'll hear that for most of the afternoon. 2 of the bigger boys in their respective sides. Hunter, kick away is good distance, close to the boundary line. It's out on the full. So a free kick to be taken for Fitzroy by Brett Stevens, is it? And Stevens goes directly towards goal. Nice kick. Taken away for Footscray by Cameron. No, leaves it behind. So does Mansfield. diving on it. It is Wind over the top of the Fitzroy player, Fleming. And Scott Wind is just absolutely flabbergasted there. And the free kick is going to the Fitzroy player. It is Dale Fleming. Now, Fleming could nearly score from here. Well, if that's in the back, it's got to be the other guy.
I think it could have been in the back, that one.
Well, I think close, very close. Wind, tall, gets his hand to it. And it's a rush behind to Fitzroy, and I think that's about all they deserved.
Well, 2 kicks for goal have nearly carried. Tui stopping the previous one from Lyon.
Oh, wow, Mansfield put someone down. That was in the huddle. And Jimmy Wind is at centre half back, and he copped one. Oh, it was a beauty.
McCarthy's kick smothered. Croft. Oh, courage needed there. Broderick farms it out. McCarthy might get there first in front of Grant. And the ball taken over the boundary line by Jamie Elliott, one of Fitzroy goal kickers. Let's take a look at that huddle again, Don.
Well, this is what will happen in the huddle. I mean, it is congested, and there's a player trying to break another one, and that's just a backhander. But fair enough, they're standing there, and you want to get play, well, fine.
That's fair enough, is it? Okay.
Well, you know.
Wine. They sent me a rule book during the week. I didn't remember reading that.
Well, there's a lot of things that happen which shouldn't happen on the ground, and there's another free kick, and they get the ironical cheers from Fitzroy because I don't believe they've had a fair shake today, the supporters, as far as free kicks go.
16 3/4 minutes left in the second turn. That might be 50 metres. Yes.
Hold it.
50-metre penalty. And that will bring us up. Let's see.
It's against Fleming.
Hunter to take the kick. About centre wing. Close enough to it. Just off the edge of the square. Ooh! Davis.
Well done by Davis. He ducked his head but still took the mark.
Dundas. That's a good long kick. One-on-one duel. Lynch nearly. Hunter comes out with the football. Clears it well. Right on 50.
Good kick.
Kicks up towards centre wing. And the mark taken by Kellett. Coleman. On a lead, plays on, chips it short, Kellett again, and gets a push in the back, does he? From Brad Boyd. Kellett at right half forward, too far out to score, gives it to Glenn Coleman, barely the required distance, and Jason Baldwin stands the mark. Coleman 75 to 80 metres out from goal, and Caven nearly. Davis. Hand pass there from Boyd went astray, and Footscray defenders able to tie it up, and we'll see a bounce about 35
Dale Fleming off the ground. Maybe that's a disciplinary measure. He gave away the 50 metres, and coming on in his place is Michael Dunstan.
A bounce about 40 metres from the Footscray goal, but free kick has been picked out of it, and it's going to be taken for Fitzroy. You can hear the umpire saying, give the footy up. It was taken by Davis. He gets the hand pass away to Wilkinson. Wilkinson's high kick out in the area of half-back. No mark taken, but the umpire spotted a holding decision there, and it's going to Doug Hawkins. Not Doug Hawkins. You can hear the umpire. Yes, it is.
Thank you. Stay there. Play on.
Short pass. Oh, it's just made effective, I feel, by Scotty Wind. Handball to Atkins was astray. Seacamp caught. Got the handball away. Chance for Morrish. Hustled off the football by Atkins. Rebounds for Baldwin. Baldwin's kick hits Mansfield, and in turn rebounds over for a throw-in on centre wing member side of the ground. That's Matthew Mansfield as we see the Fitzroy bench looking on anxiously. Ball comes to the back, taken by Armstrong. He's got plenty of time to assess the situation. Away to Wine, back to Armstrong. Armstrong goes long, a beautiful kick, and it covers the two players there, Lynch and Tui, but rolls over for a boundary throw in that right forward pocket. Alistair Lynch, we've already mentioned, is acting captain for Fitzroy this afternoon, even though Paul Roos is in the 22 players.
Well, certainly he tossed the coin, Robbo, so that's fair enough. Little quick kick by Scott West. Sees it over the boundary line, gaining about 5 metres. Another boundary throw in. Interested spectator, number 6, Campbell. Snapshot for goal. for Fitzroy, and that's Michael Dunstan, who's just come onto the ground. It's a goal.
Mitsubishi is proud to announce that its 1-year bumper-to-bumper new vehicle warranty on all new cars and light commercial vehicles has just been extended to 2 years, or 50,000 kilometres, and that the warranty on the powertrain is now 3 years, or 100,000 kilometres. On top of which, Mitsubishi will also give you a 5-year anti-perforation corrosion warranty.
Well, just in the background there, number 18 is the last goal kicker for Fitzroy, Michael Dunstan.
That's a top effort, that. Real veteran Rovers job, Robbo, wasn't it?
Yes, a good effort, and I think you were impressed with the way he threw it onto his left foot and guided it through, Peter, which was very skillful. Scotty Wine, now West, gets rid of it fairly quickly and straight towards goal. Oh, good effort there by Caven. Well done. I think he's an underrated player, Peter Caven. He does a good job for Fitzroy week in, week out. Seacamp and now Boyd. Boyd's kick out towards the wing position. McCarthy, unpredictable. Kicks it in towards half forward, but Cameron gets back for Footscray and takes a safe mark on his chest. He spotted a player near the centre of the ground, but the kick is short, and Davis marks for the Lions. Davis plays on a high kick towards half forward. No one there for Fitzroy. Strong was Lynch, but Mansfield was very good and kept his eye on the football. And Lynch, 50-metre penalty because that tackle after the mark had been taken was a little too severe.
Yes, he didn't disguise it too well. He tried to disguise it, Lynch, but he did hit Mansfield pretty hard, and the umpire on the job.
Umpires are Peter Repper and John Harvey. As Mansfield's kick towards half forward, it goes to the back. Tidied up by Seacamp. Away goes Wilkinson. His kick is good and finds Morris. Running by Dundas, but the short pass finds Lyon. Back he goes to Morris. Morris running from half back. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Wine can't take the mark. Opportunity for Lynch. Has he got too much pace for Tui? No, Tui determined. Still got the football held when he got rid of it. So Tui will take the free kick at right half back for Footscray.
Now Ross Lyon's off the ground and Guard coming back on. I was puzzled with why Guard went off the ground. He delivered the ball well. Maybe he made a mistake prior, but Lyon, I thought, has done pretty well himself since coming on. But anyway, there's a change, half forward flank.
Tui, experience gained him that kick. I says the markers with a dip it is. Shades of Waverley. Coleman. Then Coleman at right centre wing. Not in the Foster's emblem. Kicks long to right half forward. Hawkins at the back, yes. Morris late on the scene, stands the mark. Hawkins realising he can't get the distance. Looks for Delray. Strong grab. Have to pay that. Good. Delray will take the kick right on 50.
I think he's got to wait. There's no one back in the goal square.
It's a good kick by Hawkins too. He's summing up the options.
He's gone short. Valentine in front of Stevens. But the angle is pretty acute from there. He'll be right on the boundary, so he might look for other options in front of goal.
Strong boy Valentine works out well in the gym.
I think he'll kick the distance, Peter. Don't worry, this boy can kick the ball a long way.
Well, he'd need to, because the wind is sort of coming from the north, Robbo, judging by that windsock, which means it's across the ground into his face.
That's correct.
John Valentine.
Good
That's
kick.
not bad. I think it's a goal. It is.
Gotta get the wheels in motion.
Get your wheels in motion and get on down to BP now. Come in 4 times and spend $20 or more a visit and we'll give you 2 air tickets to one of 10 fabulous Australian destinations free. Minimum accommodation purchase required. That's right, 2 air tickets free. BP, on the move.
Back into the centre, 4-3 to 5-5 now. Valentine kicking the goal. Kicked away by Scott West. Up towards half forward, that might be on the shoulder. It was. Free kick to Grant. Oh, Delray. Where's his opponent?
Well, he was anticipating that Grant would go long, and the two Footscray players peeled off. That was Delray and Valentine, peeled off to the left and left their Fitzroy fellows anticipating the ball would go straight to goal. Hence, the ball's with Delray.
Delray's kicked 2 goals, 1 so far for Footscray. The chance to make it 3 at the 11-minute mark of the second quarter. 11 minutes to go, that is, and 1 behind. So his tally, Ian Robinson notes it down, 2 goals, 2.
Well, I was going to say earlier in that first quarter that he's very much a percentage player, Danny Del Rey, but
watch the square!
That wasn't a very good kick then. The kick in goes to left half back for Fitzroy. They're under a little bit of pressure, but they may get clear here. Wilkinson, handball to Seacamp, who leaves it behind. Got a player who supports Stevens, then Dundas in the centre of the ground. They did it pretty well in the finish, the Lions. Good play by Tui. Atkins, back to Tui, a little bit too far, but he's strong. Can't get through, though, but he just got his left hand to it to tap it away. Still Fitzroy, persevere through Dundas. Dundas, his kick in towards centre forward. Baldwin is marked, can play on, and may even get a goal now. Jason Baldwin into an open goal, and misses. You wouldn't believe it.
Actually, there was
over the top one, couldn't he?
Well, he could have too, but there was some great work out on centre wing by Brett Stevens. He was laying 2 shepherds, 2 heavy shepherds, which really did allow his teammate to get away and set that up to Baldwin.
Hold the ball, hold it.
Well, I don't think Robert Shaw would be too impressed with that after all the work they did to get the ball in the finish to Jason Baldwin, and then he missed from point-blank range. Foster's kick. No mark taken by Wine, but West doing pretty well in the last 5 or 6 minutes. He's flattened as he kicked the ball.
I said too high, umpire indicating too high, but...
Well, the kick down the ground to Grant, and Grant has the football just forward of the wing. Nice kick. Oh, down goes 2 players. Liberatore, handball, yes, into the open. Can Danny Del Rey get it? Oh, my golly, your father wouldn't be real impressed with that, Danny. Follows his career very intently, does Danny Del Rey's father, and I think poor old Danny was licking his chops there, but fumbling at a critical stage.
I think he'd put it down in the scorebook before he picked up the ball.
I would. Boundary throw in the left forward pocket. Taken there by Broderick. Can't break clear.
Just on the wrong side of the pack then. I thought that was a little high by Coleman on Broderick.
So a bounce about 30 metres from the Footscray goal. Chance now for Seacamp. His kick. Oh, it goes straight through Baldwin. Kellett tries to keep it in for Hunter. Didn't look as though it was... Well, the boundary umpire was very close to the action, wasn't he? So I guess he knows a lot more about it than we do from up here. Boundary throw in. Left half forward flank for Footscray.
Atkins and Wine go up for Footscray. Davis for Fitzroy. Armstrong has it, but he's pinned by Liberatore, and we'll see a bounce. Under 9 minutes left in the first half of the first quarter-final of the Foster's Cup from Kardinia Park, Geelong. Bright sunshine after some heavy showers this morning. Davis in front, looks for Seacamp. Liberatore's there, gets tackled well by that was Boyd. The ball's still there to be won. Liberatore, when he tackles them, they stay tackled.
Leave it, Hawk. Leave it. Just let him get up. Leave it. Let go of him.
Seacamp coming up with the free kick. Liberatore stands the mark, and Fitzroy will run the ball out of defence. Morrish, this is. Tui playing a good game.
He is beating Lynch now.
Bernard Tui from right half back. Coleman does it like a rover. It's around Caven. Gets clear of guard. Up towards half forward, almost a mark. Umpire says no, play on. West went through, didn't take the football with him. Chance for Hawkins, tackled by Morrish. The umpire has decided on a bounce.
That tackle, I saw it. That, okay?
No free kick though. A warning, I think, will turn that.
Free
over
kick.
the top, Davis. Kicked away by Elliott. Up towards midfield. Good tackle, Hunter. Armstrong again with pace and strength. McCarthy almost. He could goal from here. Hope he does better than Baldwin. I don't think he has. He's missed to the other side. Robert Shaw would be scratching his head. As you said earlier, Don, he can be brilliant, but we won't call that kick brilliant. 4-4 to 5-7.
Also lucky not to lose that then, Fitzroy. Alistair Lynch laid a heavy tackle, or Shepherd on Mansfield behind play. I didn't think it was warranted.
Oh dear, John McCarthy. He's got so much ability.
Hasn't he?
Kicked by Footscray out towards the centre wing area. Good mark taken by Elliott. Handball away to Boyd. In turn to Broderick. Gets past the player Croft. And Broderick off his favoured left side. does well. Kicks it into half forward, and a good mark taken by Lynch. Yelling for it as Stevens. In short, mark taken by Dunstan.
I don't know if that was his mark, because Stevens was going down and providing a target.
Right out, bud, right
The
out.
ball just didn't carry, but luckily,
Right out.
number 18, Dunstan, there. Now, there's the kick. I think it was meant for Stevens, who's just right of screen.
Now, Dunstan, a chance to kick his second goal, and they get it.
Thanks, Greg.
A mystery killing brought them together.
My father and I don't like each other much.
One man driven by honor.
This is my command here. Yes, sir.
The other driven by justice.
You knew. You damn knew.
And a woman torn between them both.
I'm here because I'm interested in you, not your father.
Prove it. Sean Connery.
I don't want you seeing him.
Mark Harmon.
Bad news, I love her. So do I.
Meg Ryan.
We could just cut to the chase.
Is a father protecting his daughter or a killer? The Presidio, 8:30 tonight on 7.
6.5 minutes before half-time. Michael Dunstan, the first Fitzroy player today to kick 2 goals. It's a Footscray ball up towards half-forward. Hits the deck and driven well clear. Back towards midfield. And that's a good mark taken by Lynch.
My word.
Good deal between those two, as Don mentioned earlier. Out to Baldwin. Kicks from outside 50 over the head of Atkins. No mark taken. Cameron taken too high. For the second time today. Did get a free kick before. That was at the other end of the ground, and then Ross Lyon finished up with the football in a controversial incident. It's going to be a bounce this time, though. Choco Royal playing today. Recently came from Bairnsdale many years ago now. Wind. Foster. Dundas looking for a free kick. Baldwin. Pretty quick hand pass. Out it comes to Guard. The hand pass coming from Dunstan. And I think he's put that through. He has. It's a goal.
There was a great shepherd in that passage of play by Morris.
Well, the easy goals go begging, don't they? We saw the last one, McCarthy, running into an easy goal. Also Baldwin earlier in the second quarter. But this is a hard one. They really had to work for it. The ball eventually spilling out in Guard's way. There is Baldwin again involved. Some heavy shepherding. And Guard, who came off interchange, replacing Lyon, kicks his first.
Okay.
So Fitzroy, they had a few chances about 5 or 6 minutes ago and seemed to flum them a little bit, but they've kicked the last 2 goals and they now lead by 21 points. A battle for possession. Stephen Wallace in the bottom of the pack. The umpire calls for another bounce. 7-7 plays 4-4. Wind and Davis.
Doing well, Davis.
Hawkins.
I'm impressed with him.
Skillfully, little hand pass, tried to get it underneath for Croft. He's in all sorts of trouble. 4 Fitzroy players making it difficult, and eventually Fitzroy get the free kick, and it's Armstrong.
Played well, Robbo.
My word, he kicks the ball beautifully too, about 55 metres out to left half forward, where Lynch marks out in front of his face.
Too quick for Tui.
His kick in towards full forward, punched away. Dundas, reasonably well tackled, I would have thought, by Hunter, and the umpire indicating that he ducked his head. So Mark Hunter will take the free kick for the Bulldogs.
See this on replay. He actually didn't duck his head. He tried to turn and get out of trouble, but then again, a good tackle by Hunter.
Right down, Mark.
Wine takes the mark at left half back and elects to kick and does it nicely. Up towards the wing, Wind dragged off the football. No way known did Jimmy Wind have any control of that football, so he'll take the free kick, and Tony Liberatore is the offender.
Wind to Wind. Long and the short of it. Jimmy Wind kicks to half forward. Ruse can't take the mark. Brandon Dundas.
Also Hunter, good effort by Hunter, because that knocked the wind out of him. You can see, well, you can't see, he's off screen, but he's going back to his position, sucking in the deep ones.
Wine taps down to Grant, tackled by Davis. We're not in possession. He'll take the free kick. The advantage rule has not been paid.
Well, it's no advantage, is it?
No.
Let him go. There's Mark.
Fritz Stevens has done a pretty good job on Chris Grant.
He's just stuck his hand there at the critical time, laid a couple of big shepherds.
Yes, Grant took that specky in the first quarter, but hasn't done that much. This is Seacamp. Back to centre wing, sun in his eyes. Scott Wine takes the mark over Jimmy Wine. And the umpire calls play on, which they do. Mansfield, it's downfield.
Well, that's not really to the advantage of the team, is it? It's just slowing play down. That was against Dundas, because as he was being shepherded, he lifted his hand, put it on the shoulder of his opponent.
And it's 50 metres as well.
50 metres.
50 metres as well.
Mate, you're going to get the ball straight back. Don't send him over here.
Oh, that's over.
No, there's a hand. No, I think there was a handball away from play. And the umpire picked it up.
That's a goal. Delray gets it.
How would you like this famous heavy-duty Stainmaster carpet for only $85 a metre? Plus quality Dunlop underlay absolutely free. Yes, free Dunlop underlay with luxurious Stainmaster cut and loop or plush.
It's exclusive to Sullivan's and stocks unlimited, so hurry.
Alexander's final clearance is now on with half-price specials like these. Casual shirts, $25. Quarterback, propeller, Andre Beanie, pinball and Le shirt, half price, just $25. Alexander's, the look, the name, the price.
Back in the centre. And Scott Wine getting high. Atkins couldn't get clear. Oh, his attempted kick of the football has kicked a Fitzroy player in the
It's Armstrong.
Very, very awkward area by the look of it. It was a little unfortunate because I don't think Simon Atkins meant anything at all. He was just trying to get his foot to the ball, and he's collected Armstrong. Wind again. Lion handball. Armstrong recovered well and kicked it nicely. Dundas has marked Armstrong in a little bit of trouble behind play. Dundas, he's kicked to right half forward. Foster thumps the ball away. Chance there for Dunstan. He gets the ball behind. McCarthy's caught. Good tackle, Mansfield.
Great tackle. It was a good tackle.
Well, I was saying yesterday, sitting on the boundary line, that you just can't afford to take the gamble on getting past tackles because all teams are now
strong.
Concentrate, don't they, Donny, on the tackling area of their game. Coleman, he's kicked to left half forward. Good mark. Del Rey, a long way from goal. Valentine leads. Half volley, a little awkward. Underneath all that is Caven. Valentine a little too severe on the tackle, and Caven will take the free kick.
Good marks there, first of all, by Coleman, and then Del Rey. Footscray breaking down across half forward a little bit. This is Wine over to Bernard Toohey, who's had a great duel with Alistair Lynch. It's probably about even at the moment. Two Fitzroy players go up. Del Rey from behind. Could he have interfered? No. Comes out with the football. Good effort to do that, but there will be a bounce inside 50 and about 45 metres actually out from goal.
Worked hard then, Del Rey.
A minute and a half left before half-time. 9 kicks to Danny Del Rey, and he's got 3 goals, 2 against his name so far. Gee, Jimmy Wine nearly had to go up and knock it out. Coleman, the Galaxy. Can't get clear. Del Rey, down he goes, and another bounce.
It's important here that Fitzroy don't allow Footscray to score because they do hold an advantage of 15 points, and it'd be good to start off the third quarter with that 15-point advantage.
Davis over the top of Coleman. Valentine applies the tackle, but the ball out of bounds, and you heard the umpire throw it in. Throwing to take place right on the 50-metre mark. Footscray's right half-forward flank. Dying stages of the second quarter. Davis and Coleman. And again, Fitzroy defenders tied up. Boyd this time the last to get up, as is Scott West. As the clock ticks down, just on half a minute to go now. Davis, good bounce. Coleman, West, quick kick over the shoulder. Morrish fists the ball towards the behind post. I think it's, yes, out of bounds. And so we'll see the boundary throw in with only about 20 seconds left.
So can the Bulldogs score?
Well, they've got to open it up to score, Ian, and Fitzroy, it'd be their advantage to lock this up.
Well, Hawkins is in the action. Morrish keeping him away from the football. Still Hawkins. Now Liberatore's out of bounds. So surely that will be Footscray's last chance to score in this first half. 7-7 to 5-4. Ruck contest. Coleman trying to use his body. Oh, down goes a Fitzroy player. There's still a struggle for possession. Del Rey, no. So no score. Liberatore kicks the football, but that score will not register. And at half-time, Fitzroy leads 7-7 to 5-4 in a very entertaining first half of this Foster's Cup match.
Fitzroy outscoring Footscray again in the second quarter. They kicked 3-4 to 2-1 after kicking 4-3 to 3-3 in the first quarter. But only 15 points in it, so certainly anybody's match. But Fitzroy's defence has been pretty sound, as is indicated by the fact Footscray managing only 5 goals before half-time. 7-7 to 5-4 in the first quarter-final of the Foster's Cup at Kardinia Park. Back after the break.
Tuesday on Australia's Most Wanted. The story of a young woman stalked by a psychotic killer. We'll show you the events that led to her murder. A well-known racing identity is shot. His past criminal connections may have cost him his life. They call him the businessman bandit. His daring disguises and bank-robbing exploits have netted him thousands. Help catch a criminal. Join Ann Sanders for Australia's Most Wanted, 8:30 Tuesday on Channel 7.
Check out these half-price specials during Alexander's final clearance. Polo shirts, $15. Ocean Racing Club in a full range of colours is now half-price, just $15. Alexander's, the look, the name, the price.
Who has the biggest range of quality furniture at Melbourne's best prices? The Furniture Spot. Computer desks are just $109. These magnificent recliners are crazy $179. Bed settees with metal action, just $399. Children's leather-look chairs, $39. Come and see for yourself why they're Australia's fastest-growing retailers. The Furniture Spot. Fairfield, Melton, Dandenong, and now in Brooklyn.
Spot on the top value, the Furniture Spot.
I can't trust just anyone to repair my brakes. That's why I came to Midas.
For over 15 years, Midas trained specialists have been inspecting vehicles and explaining what's needed. When Midas repair your brakes, we do it right. For $99, we'll machine your discs, replace pads, re-grease bearings, and give you the famous Midas nationwide guarantee. A brake reline for $99, front or rear. For exhaust brakes and shocks, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
The place doesn't look like we're having a recession. The economy's obviously turning. It's clearly turning now. The trend in employment is for this month no deterioration. I ask the Australian public to judge me and the Labor Party on what we say and do.
After all he's said and done, unemployment is over 1 million, and it's still rising. Labor's got to go. Authorised by A-Rob, Liberal Party, Canberra.
The 80s gave us some fabulous music. Now we've put them all together, kicking up the 80s, the number ones. Here's Huey Lewis. 28 certified number 1 hits. Womack and Womack. Richard Marx, Billy Ocean and George Michael. John Farnham, Sheena Easton, The Fine Young Cannibal. Starship. The best of the best. Kicking up the 80s. 28 certified number 1s on 2 big CDs from Concept.
How would you like this famous heavy-duty Stainmaster carpet for only $85 a metre? Plus quality Dunlop underlay absolutely free. Yes, free Dunlop underlay with luxurious Stainmaster cut and loop or plush.
It's exclusive to Sullivan's and stocks unlimited. So hurry.
Hold your horses, honey. How about some of this oily stuff? I've got gallons of it. Black Gold, Texas tea.
No, thanks. I like Kraft peanut butter. It's so easy to spread, and it's never dry or oily.
But all this could be yours! Stop! Now, kid! Don't be rash, kid! No! Oh, my God!
Kraft peanut butter. Smooth or crunchy, but never dry or oily.
15 points in favour of Fitzroy at half-time. The major goal kickers, Danny Delray has 3 goals, 2 against his name for Footscray, and Dunstan has 2 against his name for Fitzroy. Prize money and the winning team today in the quarterfinals taking home $16,500. The loser, $8,250 out of a total prize pool of $360,500. The next match in the Foster's Cup this year is the second quarterfinal. It's between Hawthorn and Richmond. It will go to air at 8:30 Eastern Summer Time next Wednesday. We believe it is going to be out at Waverley, but that will be confirmed possibly tomorrow. Let's go down to Peter McKenna now, our roving reporter, and he is in the Footscray room. Pete?
Yes, Pete, you'd think it'd be fairly quiet here. It's not. It's fairly boisterous. I think the players feel as though they can get themselves back into this game. I don't think Terry Wheeler would be very impressed with that first half, but they need to get a lot more out of Simon Atkins out of the centre. He's been well held at the moment, and little Lib around the packs. They certainly rely on those two guys. Pleasing thing for Footscray, Danny Delray doing so well up forward. They probably need a lot more out of John Ballantyne, but generally I don't think Terry Wheeler would be too happy because they weren't too switched on at the start of the game.
And yet they still only try.
I'm Brett Stevens from the Fitzroy Football Club. Catch all the great footy action on Channel 7.
Our Dr. Hewson's goods and services tax would change your day. Clothing and footwear, up. Bed linen and blankets, up. Used cars, up. Tradesman service calls, up. Takeaway food, up. After school lessons, up. Phone bills, up. That's one day in the life of Dr. Hewson's GST and not one new job created. Is this the sort of change you want to see in Australia? Authorised by R. Hogg for the Australian Labor Party, Canberra.
This is not a Philly shave. It does say Philly shave, but it's not. It's mine. Not Phil's, mine. It's the brand new Malcolm shave. It has 3 floating heads that mould to my face. It has a minutes left computer showing how much time I have left before recharging.
Philly Shave, the only electric shaver you can truly call your own.
Remember, Malcolm's.
Lubemobile, the service station that comes to you, is now 10 years old and over 300 vans strong Australia-wide. And we think that's something to celebrate. Phone today and for $99 get a full lube service, an electronic tune-up, plus a comprehensive steering, brake and safety inspection with a full written report and a 3-month guarantee. Phone today and tomorrow an experienced Lubemobile mechanic will be at your home or office to get the job done.
Feel your mobile mechanics.
JB Hi-Fi is smashing prices on Pioneer video laserdisc players. This multi-system unit will play digital laserdiscs plus your favourite CDs. Normally $13.99, JB are throwing them out at $11.99. Less another $200 for your old trade-in. But that's not all. They're giving away this exclusive McCartney video laserdisc and his greatest hits on compact disc free with every unit sold. JB, you've done it again.
Crunchy potato wedges now come with 2 pieces of spicy skin-free chicken, which should really get your taste buds soaring. Red.
Heavy Guitar Classics, the history of rock's greatest players. From the Shadows to Eric Clapton and Cream. This is the best of the best. Over 2 hours of guitar greats. Some heavy and some full blower. Heavy Guitar Classics, the greatest riffs ever recorded on this earth.
Yes, we're here down at Kardinia Park, and I'm pleased to announce that we've got Peter Gordon, one of the saviours of the Footscray Football Club, down with us at the boundary. Peter, a lot of negative news in football at the present time. One of the positives, of course, has been the rebirth of the club.
Yeah, it's been a great few years for us, Jared. A great experience for everyone who's been involved, particularly since '89. And with the win of our new baseball club, the Monarchs, last week, it was a terrific thing for the Western Suburbs to win in a national competition, and hopefully that'll spin off for the footy club this year.
Well, we've got up on the screen there some of the overlay of that win. A tremendous victory, of course. And they certainly do it in style. Now, you see about 15 people there. You were over there. You weren't at the bottom of this pack, Peter, were you?
No, I was the bloke who knocked him over, Jared.
Football and baseball, they're starting to unite somewhat. We hear Carlton are thinking about getting their own baseball club. Do you think that there's a possibility of a true cohesive unit there throughout the AFL?
Yeah, I do. The idea of baseball and other sports originally occurred to us because we thought we weren't getting on this ground rationalisation train that the AFL had started some years ago. We weren't going to attract other sports out there, and yeah, there's really a lot of things to it. But part of it is using our facilities more. We only get 10 home games at the most from the AFL, but we've got these facilities that we've invested so much in. If we can get crowds to come and watch the baseball and other sports there, it'll obviously make our tabaret work better, our restaurant. But quite apart from that, you know, these Melbourne Monarchs have represented the western suburbs with pride. I don't know if you know the history of them, but they started 3 years ago and made the playoffs then, but went broke, and we were pleased to get back into them. Brett Ward, our captain, actually stood out of baseball in the intervening year and lost his place in the national competition out of loyalty to the Monarchs, and so it's a real success story for the western suburbs.
Well, they've certainly set the standard for the football club. What about lights? Are they on the plan for the western suburbs?
Yeah, they definitely are. We want to look at that because we're really hopeful that with the, the practice matches that we've got an agreement with the AFL, we played at Skinner Reserve at the moment with baseball and indeed with soccer, which we're also hoping to attract to the western suburbs, that we can have large crowds coming to the Western Oval all around the year. I think all AFL clubs, particularly the Victorian clubs at the moment, need to project to where football clubs are going to be. We read about where Adelaide's going with their 38,000 members. We see the obvious success of the Eagles, and that's the sort of thing that we need, that sort of strength we need to build up to.
Well, good luck for the whole following year, Pete.
Thanks, Jared.
Jared Healy, and of course our other roving man today is Peter McKenna. In the Fitzroy room, Pete McKenna, or outside it?
No, outside, Pete. This is Fort Knox behind us here, but they are a smaller dressing room, and Robert Shaw apologised and said he wanted to talk to them just inside this door, so we got the flick. But I think he's pretty pleased with the boys. They're young and enthusiastic, and I think the big thing about Fitzroy is the fact that Armstrong, and Matthew Armstrong, has come back so well from that horrible knee injury he had. He's a beautiful kick down to his forwards. And I think he'd be pretty disappointed, though, with those two easy shots they missed through McCarthy and Baldwin towards the end of that quarter. And Lynch, I'm not convinced Alistair Lynch is a full forward. I feel he's a better player up back because his first year of AFL football, he kicked 25 goals, 48, and that's a pretty crook statistic.
OK, I admit it. I never used to lift a finger to help scour the griller, scrub the pots, scrape the plates and shine the glasses. But not anymore.
Come clean. Get a dish, Lex.
Have you got the chance to take a few days off? In February and March, Capri Resort at Yarrawonga Lake Mulwala is offering you a special holiday rate which is up to 50% off peak rates. That's right, up to 50% off peak rates. For a personal holiday or a convention, thousands of Victorians have discovered the magic of the absolute lake frontage at Capri. Swimming, golfing, water sports, whatever your wish, it's there at Capri at Yarrawonga Lake Mulwala. Call Capri now on 057 43 2222.
Have you heard this? What about this? Well, how about this? Well, get this. The Company of Strangers. Simon Hussey, Jeff Scott, James Ray, Darryl Braithwaite. The Company of Strangers are strangers no more.
Don't miss this. Half price chicken and chips. Quarter chicken, Red Rooster, crispy chips.
Half price Monday, Tuesday.
At Red Rooster. Half price Monday, Tuesday, chicken and chips.
To effectively fight plaque buildup, you can either brush, brush, brush all day long. Or, after brushing, use Reach Mouth Rinse with CPC. Clinically proven to control plaque buildup for up to 12 hours. You can't go beyond Reach Mouth Rinse to leave your teeth feeling cleaner longer.
There's no need to be confused about the new road rule. Just remember, it's left turn before right turn. From Sunday the 28th of February, it's left turn before right turn.
Who is Melbourne's fastest growing retailer? The Furniture Spot. And to celebrate the opening of their new store in Brooklyn, they've got crazy bargains. Like entertainment units, just $249. Crystal cabinets are crazy $399. Coffee tables are just $39. Bedside tables an insane $19. And TV video cabinets $39. The Furniture Spot. Fairfield, Melton, Dandenong, and now in Brooklyn.
Spot on for top value, the Furniture Spot.
Look, what is it, Michael?
20% more sultanas.
Oh, if David sees that, he'll scoff the lot. Unless we tell him it's healthy.
Kellogg's Sultana brand. All the goodness of fibre-rich flakes now made even tastier with 20% more sultanas.
Is there any more? Yeah. 20% more.
Oh, Dad!
Kellogg's Sultana brand. Health food made even tastier with 20% more sultanas.
And welcome back to Kardinia Park, the first quarter-final of the Foster's Cup. The umpire's just checking the readiness of both captains, and we're set to go for the third quarter.
Valentine off too, Peter, and Grittich is on, going to the forward pocket. He's the big fellow that plays in the ruck normally.
Number 28, 15 points the difference in favour of Fitzroy. They led by 6 points at quarter time. Croft overrunning the ball, has it knocked away from him. Liberatore tries to effect a hand pass. McCarthy comes out with the football, but after the whistle has been blown.
It's interesting to pick up a lot of those players' comments. The Footscray players are complaining about the ball. So that's interesting, isn't it? Maybe it's Leon Harris, who's a Fitzroy, former Fitzroy player, has got something to do with, is it Ross Faulkner?
Liberatore, Broderick, complaining they're not getting enough of it, Scotty. Is that what you meant? Croft, Cameron, this is better, Coleman. That great mark late in the second quarter. The marks of the day. Grant, of course, taking a specking in the first quarter, probably has the honour so far. Good shepherd by Atkins. Lets him back in, and Danny Delray. Then he kick his fourth, 35 metres out, slight angle, goes for goal and gets it. So Footscray off to a great start in the third quarter. Delray gets his fourth goal, and the Bulldogs come just a little bit closer, 9 points in it.
Well, they've got nothing to complain about there, have they, the Footscray boys? The way they moved and used the ball here. Good tackle by Grant. He caused Stevens to spill the ball. And that's one part of the game that really has improved, the tackling. It can be defensive, but also can be very offensive, as it was on that occasion.
Lovely, put it up.
So the umpire with the football in the centre of the ground.
Yep.
Lovely bounce. Up high, Davis. Gee, that was good. Armstrong. Taken away by Foster. His first real clear possession, Peter Foster. He's kicked towards right half forward. West, good effort. Up towards full forward. Coming out was Caven. Ball at the back. Stevens handballs it pretty well to himself. But he's getting a free kick for... Well, it could have been, but he's got the free kick for being held. And even that was perhaps a little suspect. But it's with Brett Stevens. He's going straight across the ground. Making good position was Boyd. Wind is further down towards the wing, but Boyd ignores him and goes in towards the centre, and Dunstan takes the mark. So we've got Dunstan and Dundas for Fitzroy. That kick is a very good one. It finds Wind. He's covered some territory, hasn't he? Broderick. Sweeping hand pass.
Can be very offensive, as it was on that occasion.
Lovely, put it up.
So the umpire with the football in the centre of the ground.
Yep.
Lovely bounce. Up high, Davis. Gee, that was good. Armstrong. Taken away by Foster. His first real clear possession, Peter Foster. He's kicked towards right half forward. West, good effort. Up towards full forward. Coming out was Caven. Ball at the back. Stevens handballs it pretty well to himself. But he's getting a free kick for... Well, it could have been, but he's got the free kick for being held. And even that was perhaps a little suspect. But it's with Brett Stevens. He's going straight across the ground. Making good position was Boyd. Wind is further down towards the wing, but Boyd ignores him and goes in towards the centre, and Dunstan takes the mark. So we've got Dunstan and Dundas for Fitzroy. That kick is a very good one. It finds Wind. He's covered some territory, hasn't he? Broderick. Sweeping hand pass. Finds guard. Guards kick, no mark. Lynch. Dundas kicked off the ground there by Hunter. Kellett it may have been, and it hits the behind post, so we'll have a throw in the left forward pocket.
Probably just as well we don't have Dunstan out there, Robert.
That's exactly right. Footscray interchange bench, having a badly needed rest. Kick by Armstrong as a goal for Fitzroy.
No!
15 points the difference again. Matthew Armstrong kicking the goal. Got a pretty hard knock earlier in the game. Seems to have recovered from that. It's a Footscray ball through Croft out of the centre. Over the head of Coleman. Gets a kind bounce. Tries to get around onto his preferred side. Long hand pass. Baldwin intercepting. West, good tackle. Ball spills free. Stevens gets it back to Baldwin. And Baldwin will be able to clear for Fitzroy from right half back. Over the head of Wine. He doesn't get the bounce he wants. Foster. Good to see him back after that broken leg. Coleman. Mansfield only had his head taken off. Coleman again from a standing start up towards half forward. And clearing the ball is Marcus Seacap. Kicks to half forward. Marking contest down there. Again, none can bring it down. Hunter tries to paddle the ball in front of him. He's outnumbered. Guard tries to blast his way through. He's caught with the footy.
No, it's a good decision by the umpire. You see that one arm was pinned. Now there's Mansfield.
Mansfield looks a little bit sore, doesn't he?
Well, that was when he was tackled on centre wing. If 2 or 3 Fitzroy players laid the tackle. He's a little slow in trying to twist out of trouble.
So it's a bounce. Wind can't take a clean possession. Dundas grabbed. Ball spills free again. Cameron finally. Croft gives it back to him. Wallace couldn't do much with it. And Hunter it is who will take the ball finally over the boundary line, right on 50 on the outer side of the ground.
Wasn't that a fantastic effort by Fitzroy forwards just to keep the ball in? Put heavy
They're
work
pretty
on them.
desperate players, those Fitzroy, especially the, that's a hallmark of the game, really.
Let him go, Jimmy. Let him go. Thank you.
So Croft, Matthew Croft looking for Coleman. That's Stevens chipping in. Gets the hand pass away to Boyd, who ducks into trouble. Grant, Atkins, as Peter McKenna said at half-time, they need more out of him. Coleman again, doing some good work at midfield. Morris up high over Hawkins and sees the ball safely into the terraces on the outer side.
That's a boy that's done well, Donny. Paul Morris, his 3rd club, isn't it? Essendon, Richmond,
he was a
and
good
now
pick-up and an unlucky that Essendon had to put him off the list, but he played in the Friday night game against North Melbourne last week. And it's good to see him through that form force his way into the senior side.
Ball comes to Armstrong. Sweeping hand pass to Wind. Wind, pass into the right half forward area where the mark is taken by Lynch. Good lead and a good kick by Jimmy Wind out in front of the forward. Lynch into the pocket.
Good block.
Scott Wind gets back.
That's good by Wind to just get there and block up, because there's nothing worse for a forward to look up the ground. You run into that hole and there's a big ruckman sitting right under the ball.
Well, Scott Wind blossoming with every match he plays. And he's very strong. Where do you find a free kick out of that?
Well, that's exactly right. Where do you find the free kick?
Now, the umpires, look, to give the opposition or to give a side a chance to kick a goal.
It's always been the case in the ruck. It's 50 of one and half a dozen of another.
Well, surely the discussion has got to be between the coaches and the umpires' advisor.
It's always been the way.
But it's such a penalty, isn't it? Now, if Lynch kicks straight, which it's pretty close. No, he's missed.
It's not the most reliable kick for goal, Alistair Lynch. He should have kicked one early in the first quarter.
2 behinds now.
Yep.
Tui kicks into right half back, and a good mark taken by Baldwin for Fitzroy.
Who centres the ball. He's kicked it straight to Wind, though, who got underneath it, couldn't complete the mark. Croft bursts through. Good shepherd by Liberatore to keep McCarthy at bay. Hawkins has to punch the ball clear. Grant Avoids Caven, avoids Morris, gives it back to Hawkins, who kicks from the edge of the centre square up towards Gridgic. Well, I got that run out.
Good effort by the big fella.
For one behind.
A great effort from the big fellow.
Spent the first half on the bench, and he twisted round there pretty well. Has he got gloves on? I think he has. Mr. Tony Campbell's.
You'd rather call him by his first name than his second name.
Ilya's easier, is it, Robert? Thank you. Well, for facilitating getting their names out, Liberatore. Chance for the Lions now. It was Broderick.
Out wide he can
Lynch.
go.
Dundas, he's been busy, hasn't he?
So is this guy.
And to Wind, yeah, he's played well. 13 possessions, McCarthy. And I think you used a word earlier, Robbo, to describe him as enigmatic. He can be brilliant, but...
just so much ability, Peter.
He has, hasn't he? It was the downside of his career that, well, I guess saw him at Fitzroy now. Might just get the distance right on 50. Well, you'll get the distance all right. The accuracy, I don't think so. One behind. Kicked by John McCarthy. And so the Lions increased their lead by that margin, 6-5 to 8-9, and that's 16 points the difference. He's kicked 2 behind so far.
The kick in goes to left half back for Footscray. Out there, Croft, 1 against 3. The Lions outnumbering. Guard tackled by Croft. Too high. And I think he was just a little disappointed with the marking contest that he was involved in a few seconds earlier there, Matthew Croft. And his overzealousness has given the free kick away to Jeremy Guard. Guard kicks it in towards Armstrong, who marks. Perhaps not a lot closer to goal, but certainly has improved the angle. And it's going to be difficult for him to kick the distance. He's going to lob it into the goal square. It's a beautiful kick. Did get the distance, but just hooked it a little bit and has scored a behind. 1 goal wonder, Matthew Armstrong, in that Fitzroy scoreline of 8-10. Footscray 6-5, and Tui, well, he's going to the same position again. Left half back, looking for Wind. He's getting his hands on it, Scott Wind, but can't quite hang on to them. Elliott's kick is hooked quite nicely. Dundas, good pressure on Tui. Now a chance for Fitzroy. Wind. Handball into the pocket. Lynch goes for goal and misses.
It's a good play by Dundas. We saw him lay a tackle. I also watched him earlier in the quarter, prepared to get down to that forward line. He's playing on the ball, and it's good to see a rover prepared to go down deep and also down back as he does go, as well as try and pick up kicks around the ground.
This is Mansfield. Again looking for Wind. Knocks the ball over his shoulder. Foster. Wallace. The veterans combining. And there's another one, but Dougie Hawkins overruns it. The rookie applies the tackle. West. Back to Wallace. Past Broderick. And Hawkins on his own. And should be within kicking distance. Grandstand sheltering what breeze there is coming from, well, judging by the windsock on the outer side, it's from the northwest, but not really much to worry about. They can and have been kicking goals at both ends. Kick number 7 for Hawkins. Starts it straight, finishes straight, and finishes with a goal.
Gotta get the wheels in motion.
Get your wheels in motion and get on down to BP now. Come in 4 times and spend $20 or more a visit and we'll give you 2 air tickets to one of 10 fabulous Australian destinations free. Minimum accommodation purchase required. That's right, 2 air tickets free. BP, on the move.
And 4 goals to Del Rey, the leading goal scorer for Footscray, and 2 goals to Michael Dunstan, the only multiple goal scorer for the Lions. Armstrong caught with the ball, but got rid of it. In trouble, McCarthy. Handball away to Elliott. Handballs it to himself. Can't quite control it. Taken away now for Footscray by Crediuk. Back into the centre. Kellett. Play on. Good kick. West can take it all the way down the ground. Del Rey's in the pocket. Well done by the young fellow. And Del Rey has a chance for his 5th goal.
Line involved, Hawkins. And changes being made. Johnson coming on for Fitzroy.
I think it's Fleming.
It's Fleming, I think, going straight up into the race, and Frost about to come on for Footscray. And Cameron going off.
Del Rey, lovely kick by Danny Del Rey. He's kicked 5. Well, you can't argue too much about that. 5 goals from an 8-goal score for your team. 6 points the difference.
There's Cameron picking the ball across to Kellett. Cameron's gone down behind play there.
Started the little fracas, Scotty. So Danny Del Rey with 5 goals, the only multiple goal scorer, as Robbo said, for Footscray. Yes,
Liberatore
reported 25, he said. Is that McCarthy or Mansfield?
McCarthy was involved in it.
Have to wait. Might be McCarthy because he said to Liberatore, I've reported 25, maybe for hitting Libber. Well, we'll know a little bit later on. Armstrong, McCarthy, there he is. Ball kicked away for Fitzroy by Brad Boyd. Bounces inside 50. Foster taps the ball clear. Peter Foster, of course, breaking his leg last year. Paul Abbott for Fitzroy will be playing today, except he has a broken arm. And, of course, Paul Abbott earlier, when playing for Hawthorn, broke his leg playing against the West Coast Eagles. So they're very bad injuries. There was another broken leg yesterday, Philip Merton for Hawthorn. That's too high. Atkins will get the free kick. Haven't had as much out of him today, Scotty, as they would have liked.
Atkins, no. Only, what, 5 kicks I think he's had.
Grant in front of Stevens. No mark paid by the umpire. This is Baldwin. Has to hook the kick. It was actually touched off the boot as the umpire called. Morrish.
Oh, Libber, great.
Right on the bottom of the pack. Gets it to Atkins. That was a good effort. Mansfield. The left footer. Croft. Looks solid. Takes the mark. Finds Kellett. Kellett on the burst. Footscray coming back. Good shepherd by Grant to keep Stevens at bay. Goes long at goal. Off target. A mark, or I think it's a score, actually. Yes. One behind. So, Bridgic.
Ilya,
thank you, Robert. He was behind the line when the mark was taken. So 10 minutes left in the third quarter.
Oh, a torpedo punt.
And a beautiful kick too. Coleman nearly took the mark, attempted punch and nearly gathered it at second grab. But the umpire now calls for a bounce. Peter McKenna has a bit of an idea of what's happened downstairs with the injured player.
Yes, Robbo, not too serious. Actually, he's got a knock on the lower back area and they're just applying ice in the dressing room.
It's Michael Dunstan, Pete, is it?
Michael Dunstan, yes.
Well, a youngster playing one of his only matches with the Lions. Now the ball coming to Atkins. Atkins kick, pretty good. Oh, Danny. Play on. Kellett loves to run with the footy. He bombs away. Is it coming back with the breeze? Oh, hits the post. Gee, that was good play there by the Bulldogs and couldn't quite cap it off. Danny Del Rey perhaps should have taken the mark, but the pressure of the moment, and Kellett not able to drag it back far enough. 4 points the difference, so this is going to be a titanic struggle to the final siren, I think, Peter.
Wilkinson.
Watch the square!
About to kick in. Pretty hard to see the square, actually. Not too well marked. That's a good mark by Davis over Grant.
Done well, this young fella.
He has. He's conceded many centimetres to wind at the ruck contests, but has jumped well. Good leap. Mansfield from Atkins. High ball. Still inside the centre square. Galaxy. So Coleman will look for a lead. Croft makes one. Taking the mark in front of Jamie Elliott. Likely looking customer. Reminds me a little bit of Robbie McGee.
Yep.
Doesn't he? Needs the tattoos. Grant gets taken over the boundary line. No, holding the ball, says the umpire.
Ball back.
So Brett Stevens will take the free kick. Fitzroy will be able to run it out. Seacamp kicks towards the members' side here at Kardinia Park, but not really to the advantage of his side.
No, it's a very good. I've got to contradict you, Peter, because that was a very good kick. He looked down the ground, options covered. All he could do was go long, and he found touch.
Well,
in rugby terms.
Matthews preparing to come on for Fitzroy.
But contests not favouring either side. Liberatore, did he get one in the back? I think so. So Libber to take the free kick. The Jim is Jimmy Wine.
Davis off and Matthews coming on for Fitzroy.
Huge pack of players down there. Kellett tries to tap the ball to his team's advantage, but Armstrong gets there first. Armstrong going straight down the ground, and McCarthy, strong hands in front of the body. Still inside the centre square, kicks up towards Ruse. Haven't seen too much of him today. Started well as he marks in front of Peter Foster.
Fifth kick coming up for Paul Ruse.
Don't go over. Stay there.
Really a productive afternoon so far. Good kick. Good long kick. He's got his second goal. He's made the most of them.
Many of us have experienced at some time in our lives occurrences for which we have no logical explanation.
Killer whales so intelligent they set a trap for their human trainer. A woman blind since birth who can see under hypnosis. The dead man who gave a ride to Telly Savalas. A legend that is so eerie those who defy it die.
We don't deal with the imaginary, but researched, documented fact. Join me for a fascinating news show.
The Extraordinary, 8:30 Thursday on 7.
So back to the centre. Scott Wine magnificently to Liberatore, and Footscray into attack. But it breaks down very quickly because Peter Caven has taken the mark at centre-half back for Fitzroy. And he sweeps away onto that favoured left foot and kicks it up towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Footscray, you're in trouble there, young Krediuk. Advantage is paid. Hunter, Atkins, and away it goes to Mansfield. Watch this kick. Lovely, up towards full forward. Up high was Ilya Grigic, and it comes down to Grant, and Grant kicks the goal. Chris Grant kicks his first goal. He's been a little quiet. He's only had 10 possessions, but big Ilya competing at full forward, giving Grant that chance.
And that is the operative word, competing. Here's Mansfield. A good kick down the ground from the centre. That is the only way to play. That's the way forwards like it. And then you can catch your opponent out. It's just the fact that Grigic went up, competed, ball spilt the ground, but it was the way the ball was delivered quickly into the forward line which got Footscray that goal.
So Chris Grant getting his first goal, and the Bulldogs come back again after they trailed at half-time by 15 points. It's only 4 points the difference now. So a thriller. We've had some great matches in the Foster's Cup so far this year. Wine from Liberatore, the two Brownlow medalists combining to put Footscray into attack again. Grant tries to hook it onto Coleman, who went without the ball, and Fitzroy defending desperately. Liberatore again. Wallace. Oh, Footscray players everywhere. Kellett. Could have been Coleman. Coleman leaves it for Kellett. Grigic. Nearly. Big fellow. Delray taps it for West off the ground. And only one behind, so golden opportunity missed. Scott West has already kicked one goal, so 1 goal won to his tally now with 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Would you give West a little bit of credit there, Donny, for summing that up? Just a little kick off the ground?
I would have hated to have been in his position. His
the only thing he could do
with that big fellow coming down the ground. I don't know.
Wilkinson kicks in. I guess his nickname's probably Sword. A fair bit. Free kick going to Fitzroy.
Yes, taken by Broderick.
He goes to the outer side. Brett Stevens looks for Dundas. Not too much pace for Wine. Oh, just gets clear of him. Kicks to half forward. Now Lynch doesn't kick at goal. Goes in short. Looks for Ruse, who's kicked 2. Can he make it 2 for the quarter? Onto the left foot. Can't bend it back enough, I don't think. And one behind. Kicked by Paul Ruse. So his tally to 2 goals, 1.
It was good to see Ruse at least attempt something on the left foot. A lot of players out here today and in the football today always try to get back onto their dominant foot. They're professional athletes. They should be able to use both sides of their body equally.
Mansfield's kick in, looking for Coleman. Coleman crashing through the pack. Umpire indicating that it was too high. Well, he got the kick and he kicks it to the advantage of Grant magnificently. And Grant doesn't let him down. His opponent is Fleming. They're running nicely. Kellett marks 55 to 60 metres from goal. Kellett in the last few minutes has had an influence on this game. He hooks the kick, not really to the advantage of his teammate. Going back with the flight of the ball for Fitzroy was Matthews. Now a chance for Wilkinson. He's going to get clear. The hand pass awkward for Stevens. He's able to get it further afield. Johnston Johnston's sweeping hand pass finds Seacamp. Seacamp short kick, and nearly good hands there by Fleming. Dispossessed by Wallace, and perseverance by Stephen Wallace. Well done. He's got a very, very awkward kicking style, Stephen Wallace, but quite effective, and he finds Hawkins 60 metres from the Footscray goal. Hawkins bombs it up, looking for Gridgick. At the back, taken by Caven. Caven's hand pass, Broderick, and Fitzroy out of trouble.
Broderick's kick up towards centre wing.
Great
This
kick.
is Jeremy Gard. Mark on the outer side. That's by McCarthy. We believe it was John McCarthy who had his number taken by one of the umpires for an incident earlier in this quarter. Back to Broderick. So Fitzroy trying to answer the challenge. Footscray have certainly lifted their game. That kick coming from Johnston. Stevens.
Free
Has he
kick.
been paid the mark, or is
No,
it
Lynch, a free kick to Lynch against two. He was holding.
Alistair Lynch, you said earlier, it's not the best kick at goal, Don, so let's see what he can do here. Bernard Toohey can't believe it.
Well, he's yet to kick one. He's kicked 3 points.
So Lynch kicking from about 40 metres out, directly in front. Might have missed this one as well. Body language tells us a lot.
Actually, players yesterday had a little bit of trouble kicking goals down to that left-hand end. The breeze we've mentioned is probably slightly favouring that end, but blowing across the ground mainly. And when they allow for the wind to blow, it doesn't seem to come up. Oh, look at this.
Oh, bad mistake by Toohey. Well, Lynch is 20 metres closer this time, and may make Bernard Toohey pay the ultimate penalty.
Right there.
Well, short passing on the back line 20 years ago was a no-no. Seems to happen fairly regularly now. Lynch has kicked 4 behind.
Stay there.
Surely he can kick this one.
He's kicked one.
He has.
Thanks, Phil.
Tonight on the Golden Palace.
Someone's got a girlfriend.
It's time to tell the kid about, well, you know.
Oh, you can say it. It's not a dirty word.
Go ahead and say it.
And Ma's got a problem.
What's the matter, Consuela?
With an old chook who's losing her memory.
You're not pregnant, are you?
Please, I can hardly pass gas without breaking a hip.
Then at 8, it's Nurses.
If you want it that bad, you can keep it.
Golden Palace and Nurses, 7:30 tonight on 7.
So Alistair Lynch finally breaks his duck, 62-73. Fitzroy again lead by 11 points. It was 15 at half-time. Wind taps it over the top. Johnston might have got one too high. In fact, that's what the umpire says. Started the game on the bench. He's coming on in this quarter. David Johnston, formerly of Essendon. And Johnston to take the kick just wide of the centre circle. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter, the first quarter-final of the Foster's Cup. Johnston, good kick, kicks out towards left half forward. Strong mark taken by Matthews.
That's what Matthews has got to do. He's playing as a ruckman. He's got to use his mobility against Wine.
Matthews, formerly of Carlton. Frost. Armstrong. Armstrong's done well. Oh, good hip and shoulder took him out of action. Guard takes the hand pass around Mansfield, around Wallace. Dundas, another one for Fitzroy. On the angle, puts it through from point-blank range.
And there's a Footscray player down too.
Broken arm.
Dislocated forearm, is it? Or
broken arm. Or wrist.
Frost.
It's not too good anyway, no matter who it is. We'll watch this on replay. It's
This may
Frost.
be it here. Let's see what happened. He was chasing...
Shepherd by Lynch. Lynch had a dislocated shoulder.
Good hip and shoulder. Perfectly legal. Guard to Dundas for the goal, but oh gee, that's most unfortunate. I was talking about breaks earlier, and we've got another one.
Yes, bad luck. But play goes on back near the centre. Footscray must make every endeavour in these last 2 minutes to score. But Morrish, strong. Hawkins taps it away from his own goal, then gives the hand pass back to Toohey. Good perception there. Mansfield. Now Wallace. Wallace straight down the ground. Kicks it to centre half forward. No mark taken. Atkins, if he can move it on. Ilya's in the square on his own. Get back quickly. No, he can't. The ball's still in the field of play. And now it's pushed over for a rush behind as the Footscray player...
Not too flash, is he?
Frost. Well, he's only been on the ground for a short while. And he's coming off with a very serious injury.
And the man who replaced Cameron's going back on to take his place.
He's going straight to the rooms, obviously, so we'll try to bring you some news from that as soon as we can. Stevens in front of Widjic. Bernie Quinlan. I wish Bernie was here. He could tell us what the correct pronunciation is. This is Matthews.
Lynch
comes towards 4-4.
Great hands.
It's Fleming.
Tell you what, he's got that ability, hasn't he, Dale Fleming, to take a sensational mark.
He's been replaced by Dunstan earlier.
That's a good grab.
That's Hunter in hot pursuit.
Footscray's last 5 minutes may prove costly, Peter.
Yes, they got to within a kick, Robbo, didn't they?
4 points they trailed by.
Fleming inside 50, has hooked it slightly. And one behind only.
Thankfully for the Bulldogs' sake, as Robert Shaw down on the boundary line to watch the last dying seconds of this third quarter.
Got a Tui to kick in, 24 seconds.
Will he go short again, do you think, Bernard? Because the option's there.
Have you got your tongue firmly planted in your cheek?
Credior did make a lead, but Tui does go long and high.
Oh,
McCarthy in front. Wine. Liberatore from left half-back flank. Footscray would love a score, they'd love a goal before three-quarter time, but it beats Coleman over the boundary line. They've got only a few seconds to get there. I don't think they can. Time's going to be against them. It was a good effort by the Bulldogs earlier in this quarter, but Fitzroy have answered the challenge, and they've answered it pretty well. Liberatore and Atkins, two of their keys, have been relatively quiet today. They have lifted in this quarter. It could be a free kick to Boyd. In fact, it will be.
And Boyd knew about it. The applier of the tackle, Tony Liberatore.
Three-quarter time. And Fitzroy, as I said, answering the challenge. The Lions leading 11-14-80 to Footscray 9-9-63 at Kardinia Park.
When Steve and I went looking for a new family car, safety was high on our list of priorities. I suppose we thought we'd have to compromise a bit. The cars that have been renowned for their safety have tended to be the expensive European ones. But when we saw our Mitsubishi dealer, he showed us a video of the testing Mitsubishi do. And he talked to us about its safety standards. Standards we've never expected in Australian-built cars. We realized then that with the Magna, we didn't have to compromise at all. Well, it's not just a beautiful-looking car. It's really quiet, which I appreciate. And it's got all the space and comfort we need. But the best feeling of all is to know you don't have to be wealthy to give your family real protection on the road.
The Company of Strangers. Darryl Braithwaite, James Rain, Jeff Scott, Simon Hussey. The Company of Strangers. A Strangers No More.
JB Hi-Fi smash prices on digital car stereos down to just $69. Pioneer Car Hi-Fi with heaps of power, multi-disc CD and 80-watt speakers, $1,170 worth slashed to just $7.99 the lot. JB, you've done it again.
How Dr. Hewson's goods and services tax would change your day. Water rates, up. Toothbrushes, up. Clothing, up. Newspapers, books and magazines, up. Taxis, up. Telephone calls and postage stamps, up. Takeaway food, up. That's one day in the life of Dr. Hewson's GST and not one new job created. Is this the sort of change you want to see in Australia? Authorised by RHOG for the Australian Labor Party, Canberra.
Look, what is it, Michael?
20% more sultanas.
Oh, if David sees that, he'll scoff the lot. Unless we tell him it's healthy.
Kellogg's Sultana brand. All the goodness of fibre-rich flakes now made even tastier with 20% more sultanas.
Is there any more? Yeah. 20% more.
Oh, Dad!
Kellogg's Sultana brand. Health food made even tastier with 20% more sultanas.
In this box is a revolutionary way of cleaning. New Drive Power Scoop with enzymes. One small scoop does the whole wash.
Some stains never shift.
Greasy stains caused by oil locking dirt onto fibres. Only Drive's unique enzymes with biological action gently unlock, release and wash away the deepest dirt.
There's no dirt. There's no stain.
New Drive Power Scoop with enzymes. Cleans deep without harming fabrics, without stripping colours. It'll change what you mean by clean.
Monday on Real Life.
Australia would be mad to follow New Zealand's footsteps.
New Zealand's GST, an explosive report. Dealing with danger in your backyard, killer wasps and bees.
Real Life, 6:30 weeknights on 7.
Tonight on Talk to the Animals.
Even Galar's watched this show.
Harry's racing off to another story.
Hurry up, you'll miss the plane!
But first, he's got to get the chores done. Richard looks at the...
It's like an emu up front and a greyhound behind.
It's the alpaca poised for stardom.
A session with the blower is an important step in the shearing process.
Kelly finds a living legend.
I love her. She's part of the family.
A real workhorse, and Harry finally meets up with Bobo the Wonder Dog.
Animals need people.
Talk to the Animals, 6:30 tonight.
So Fitzroy has won every quarter. They outscored the Bulldogs by 2 points in that term to lead by 17 points. Major goal kickers for Footscray, Danny Delray 5. And for Fitzroy, Michael Dunstan has 2 goals and Paul Roos also 2 as we go down to the boundary line to Gerard and Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Report on Michael Frost. He has evidently hyperextended his left elbow. He's wrenched the joint, so he's unlikely to be available for the rest of this game and will be in doubt for the next couple of weeks. Thought Footscray has started sluggishly, as we said at the start of the game. They revved themselves up for that third quarter, but Fitzroy just back into it. And I think Footscray will struggle to get back into this game, Peter.
Well, Robert Shaw is very, very happy with the fact they've got so many numbers at the ball, and that's because they're so young and enthusiastic, Gerard. But good move to put Alistair Lynch out to centre-half forward, because he wasn't doing all that much at full forward, and Roos wasn't doing much at centre-half forward, so he moved him down to full forward. So they're going to have a pretty potent attack this year with McCarthy, who's showing promise to be. He's a bit of a jack of all trades, a jumping jack, but he's a very good player, as we know.
Well, speaking of potent, Pete, you were pretty fierce on the lunch at the Cat's Bistro there today.
Well, I was just absolutely delighted. For the first time in your life, you shouted.
Didn't cost him anything, probably. The statistics, Don Scott to three-quarter time, and the kicks just about the same.
Well, at quarter time, Footscray held sway as far as the kicks went, but Fitzroy have levelled up there. Centre breaks, well, they're evened out a little bit. Fitzroy were doing particularly well in the first half. And there's not much in the hit-outs either, really, when you consider that Wine should be dominant. But then again, his opposite number, Davis, was jumping into him and making his job particularly hard, especially at the centre bounces. But hit-outs also refers to hit-outs around the ground.
Yeah, what do you read into the fact that, well, Fitzroy lead by 13 handballs, but the kicks are pretty even? Does that mean that obviously Fitzroy using the ball a little better, maybe?
Well, I don't know if they're using it. I'm a little critical of the overuse of handball. There was once when Mansfield came out of the centre and delivered the ball quickly down where Grisic attempted to mark, and Grant came through and took the ball away. I think a lot of these teams do overuse handball, especially around the centre of the ground, trying to set it up.
I think I saw Tui going to the bench.
He did go to the bench, Peter. So Foster is at full back.
And Fitzroy starting the last quarter with Davis on the bench and Matthews doing the ruck work, Peter.
17 points the difference as we begin the last quarter. First quarter final, Foster's Cup.
Geez, enthusiastic Matthews. Did you see him get up then over Wind?
Fresh man, fresh legs, just what they want.
The boy from Lilydale.
By Carlton. Matthews and Wind. Wind this time too tall. Broderick tries to crash his way through. Runs into Doug Hawkins. Couldn't get a clean possession. And Fitzroy this time through Morris.
Yeah, he's being held.
Well, Lynch, he on the shoulder with it, yes.
Yeah, it's Reynolds, the fellow that came off interchange. He replaced Tui, but it was quite obvious that Lynch was being held by Reynolds.
Can't do that.
We're going to play time off.
Yes, that's right. Now he does it. He could hand pass now if he wanted to. So Lynch, who's kicked 1 goal 4.
It's coming back.
Hit the post. So 1 goal 5 to Alistair Lynch.
Scotty was barracking for that.
Hey? He was before too.
Had a couple of bob on the lines, Donny.
That elbow injury of Frost that Gerard Healy diagnosed for us.
Ballantyne on right, Tui.
Maybe not as serious as we had first thought, but still a painful injury just the same. Cameron.
Let him go, let him go.
Seen too much of him.
Struggled a bit, yes, Pete. He's had 4 kicks and 5 hand passes.
Did cop a couple of pretty hefty knocks, though, let's be fair.
Coach wouldn't be happy.
Foster in front. Like to see more out of him, too.
Well
Johnston.
done, Johnston.
Quick kick. Armstrong liked his game. Great to see him back after that knee injury he had.
Look at the kick.
Beautiful kick to Fleming, and Fleming marks in front of Wine.
That was where the ball was supposed to go. It was a deliberate kick by Armstrong. What a kick.
Broderick getting over to give Guard a bit of a pat on the back, so is Armstrong. So Guard making a passage for Armstrong to deliver that ball.
Looks a little bit the worse for wear too. 45 metres out, Fleming directly in front. Goal here would be pretty handy for Fitzroy, and he's got it.
Got to get the wheels in motion.
Get your wheels in motion and get on down to BP now. Come in 4 times and spend $20 or more a visit and we'll give you 2 air tickets to one of 10 fabulous Australian destinations free. Minimum accommodation purchase required. That's right, 2 air tickets free. BP, on the move.
Well, very important first goal of the last quarter to Fitzroy, and they now lead by 24 points. And Matthews gets the first touch from the centre bounce again. Footscray trying desperately, but Armstrong run down by Hawkins. Hawkins still got him round the neck. So Dougie against you, and this man has probably been best on the ground. Matthew Armstrong transfers play to the opposite side. Baldwin away to Stevens. Stevens with a slightly cramped kicking style. Fleming. Handball for Wind. He couldn't control it. Chance for Lynch. He's ridden into the ground. Hawkins.
Well done,
Scott
Line.
Wind. Liberatore just gets his right foot to the ball. Back towards the centre of the ground. Wallace, but Fitzroy outnumber the Footscray player 3-1. It's eventually Stevens combining with Baldwin. Baldwin's kick towards half forward, no mark taken. Hawkins for Footscray. A lovely little left foot kick, too high maybe. Coleman not quite reading it. And Boyd just lets himself down ever so slightly there and kicks it out on the full. He's right on the players' interchange area where Callett will kick it back for Footscray.
He's got to do a little bit of work on his kicking, Boyd. It's not the fact that kick went over the boundary line, but I've watched him throughout the day. And his kicking leaves a little bit to be desired.
Seacamp, nearly a spectacular mark. Liberatore as Footscray trails by 24 points. Gridgic! And he's taken the mark, I would say, right next to the behind post. Not going to be too much daylight between the goalposts there. That's, well, we can see more through those goalposts than he can, Robbo, I'd suggest.
Yes, and we might see if Bernie's influences.
Runs around. Oh, he hasn't kicked it like Super Boot. One behind only. So, Ilya Gridgic, one behind. Peter McKenna, some injury news on Guard.
Yes, Pete, Jeremy Guard, a cork thigh. They've taken him straight to the rooms for some ice treatment.
And they've got plenty of injuries at Fitzroy anyway, without getting more of them. Baldwin has to play on, does so fairly well. Kick comes from Wilkinson, who's, well, he's been fairly impressive.
Very
this is
good,
Seacamp. Seacamp straight down the ground, kicks to half forward, Ruse. You take that 9 times out of 10. Lyon gives him backup support.
That was good running by Fitzroy. The full back line was prepared to run and the half back line was prepared to run. That was Seacamp who's playing in the back pocket who got that ball down the ground.
Fitzroy grand finalist in the night competition last year. Maybe semi-finalist again this year. Morrish taps down. Oh, Lyon went through like a steam train. Liberatore comes out with the football to Hawkins. Hawkins from left half-back flank. And strong mark again to Seacamp.
Could have given it off to Atkins, who was about 10 metres to his right there, Dougie Hawkins.
Good commitment from Fitzroy today. They've backed each other up. This is Boyd again. Brad Boyd in towards full forward. No mark taken. Fleming overruns the ball. Liberatore applies the tackle. Wine.
Well
Gee,
done.
he's been good. Broderick with the left foot. He had to go for it, one behind. I don't think it was going to be a goal
That was well
anyway.
done by Wine then, because when he went for the ball, he realised before he summed up the situation in going for the ball that it was, who was it out there? Just kicked
Broderick,
the ball.
maybe?
Broderick, he slashed it over to him quickly with the left hand, really not looking, but summing up the situation beforehand.
Reynolds does the kicking in. McCarthy, who we believe was reported in the third quarter.
Should get reported a little more often because he's really come to life since having been reported.
Oh, Broderick.
Yeah, right there, stay there, Steve.
He might argue with you on Monday night.
Mine.
Armstrong. Gee's been impressive today.
My word.
As you said, Robbo, pretty close to best on the ground. And Baldwin.
He finishes his work off so neatly, Peter. Like typical
And he gets
left
the
footer.
ball very quickly to his boot because he's not over-endowed with speed, but he makes use of the ball by getting rid of it very quickly. What, 23 possessions?
16 and 7. So Jason Baldwin for his first goal. And the goal that could just about make it safe for Fitzroy, I'd suggest. He's got it.
A mystery killing brought them together.
Father and I don't like each other much.
One man driven by honor.
This is my command here. Yes, sir.
The other driven by justice.
You knew. You damn knew.
And a woman torn between them both.
I'm here because I'm interested in you, not your father. Prove it.
Sean Connery.
I don't want you seeing him.
Mark Harmon.
Bad news, I love her. So do I.
Meg Ryan.
We could just cut to the chase.
Is a father protecting his daughter or a killer? The Presidio, 8:30 tonight on 7.
13-16, plays 9-10. Scott Wind up against Ashley Matthews at the centre bounce. Wind gets the tap out. Atkins, who's been quiet, taken away there for Fitzroy by Boyd. Reynolds, completely through Krediuk, but Cameron is there to back up. Cameron's kick up towards the wing, and Hawkins juggles it, but eventually is awarded the mark, and he's just forward of centre wing. Hawkins plays on, a shocking kick, and Wind gets him out of trouble by taking the mark near the centre of the ground. This is Scott Wind. Long kick by that player up towards full forward. Chance for Grant. Swoops on it, shrugs the tackle, back onto the left foot. Very, very skillful and perfect. Lovely piece of play there by Chris Grant. He's kicked his second goal.
Well, Wilkinson went down in that passage of play just before. He looks in more than a little bit of bother, doesn't he? Let's take a look, see what happened.
But the fist should have come from the Fitzroy defenders. That was a Caven coming up over the back there. He should have fisted the ball to ground, whoever it was. But what a piece of play. He's a right foot kick normally, Grant, but look at the way he used his skill on the left-hand side of his body.
This is a bit of bad luck for them. These young guys played pretty well today.
I think it was a pretty hefty landing on the hip, Robbo, but we might get that confirmed shortly.
Kick out of the centre, and a mark taken by Mansfield. Now, Footscray, if they're to win this game, have got to go straight down the ground. Mansfield's had 3 bounces, and now he thumps away, but it's not a good kick. Lyon takes the mark on his chest, when Mansfield had plenty of options there, running down the ground with no pressure really on that player. And Lyon has marked it right half back. We believe Lynch has been moved down to full back. Johnston combining with Boyd. Mansfield drops what he should have taken. He's going to get run down. No, he's able to slip the tackle and punts it towards centre half forward. Oh, Footscray a chance here. Atkins, will it bounce nicely for him? He gathers it. He's awarded the free kick because the Fitzroy player Broderick into Simon Atkins' back. Atkins, high kick towards full forward. Oh, that's a push out. That's got to be it.
No, I'd pay that mark. I'd pay that mark.
You're allowed to do that.
If the ball's within 5 metres, I guess that's the...
That was really using the body here.
The ball within 5 metres.
Oh, he used the arm actually too, didn't he? But it just initially it looked as if he just warded him off with the body.
Well, Del Rey has kicked 5. And this would be a real bonus for Footscray. They trail at the moment by 4 goals. Del Rey can make it 3. He kicks accurately.
When you pick up the Herald Sun, you just can't put it down, can't put it down.
Treat your mind and body to Monday's Herald Sun and a brand new section that shows you the best ways to keep fit and stay healthy.
You just can't put it down, can't put it down.
Plus, Mind and Body is giving away $5 million worth of Manchester Unity health insurance. Absolutely free.
Just can't put it down, can't put it down.
Plus a chance to win one of 8 new Ford Festivas, the little car you'll fall in love with in Monday's Herald Sun.
Pick it up, you just can't put it down. The Herald Sun.
So the game comes alive again. 3 goals the difference.
Okay. Small forward line now. Fitzroy have got with Lynch going up to the full back position. They've got McCarthy at centre half forward.
Wind and Matthews. Grant.
Looks as if he's playing ruck rover, Grant, too.
That's it.
Broderick. Matthews. Could have given it to Johnston. Goes long with the kick down towards where Reynolds tries to block. Chance for Fleming. Looks for the hand pass to the best man on the ground at Armstrong. Right. Reynolds, well-fisted clear. Hunter at right centre wing. Coleman fumbles what he should have taken, makes amends, does well. Kicks long, Caven. Now, is he going to get a free kick? He is. The advantage rule is paid. Well, there was a charge, I guess. Matthews stands his ground well at centre half back. Atkins won't catch him. Pressure beginning to tell. Morris twisting and turning.
So much handball. Kick it.
Well, Stevens finally does. It came from Seacamp.
No talking.
Two Fitzroy players. Yeah, that's right. They didn't talk. Dundas is there. He gets a push in the back. Wallace might be going to get the free kick.
Well done, Scotty Wine. Get that ball moving, Footscray, if you're going to win the game.
And they've got 11 minutes, 20 seconds to win the game. Plenty of time if they're good enough. Grant. Just didn't quite carry the half volley. Awkward for Kazupe down there. Push in the back against Seacamp. Kazupe will take the free kick.
Be careful.
Too far out to score. He's 75 metres from goal. Looks for Del Rey. Can't find him. Atkins roves it well. Doesn't really kick it well. Lynch, who I always think looks better in defence. He's kicked 1-4 today. Maybe that tells us a story. And Lynch goes towards the boundary line with the educated kick. Too wide for Keenan Reynolds. As we go down to Peter McKenna, more injury reports.
Yes, Pete. Darren Wilkinson, who came off with a suspected knee injury, he has gone through the ligamentous test, as Gerard Healy would say, and he is okay.
Boundary throw in from that well-guided Lynch kick, and that could be around the neck. Too high there on Tony Liberatore. And the little fellow will kick Footscray up towards their half-forward region.
Coleman
a free kick.
Yes.
Who's being held?
Well,
Fitzroy
Coleman
player.
was holding.
Boyd takes it. Armstrong having a good look and then thumps a wobbly old punch kick, but a good mark taken by Wine. Liberatore, can he get clear? He gets the hand pass away to Hunter. Hunter goes straight towards centre half forward. Kazupe up against two big fellows, but Kazupe does well. Recovers but can't quite control the footy. Out it comes to Atkins. He gets the ball out of a very tight situation. Big Ilya, he can't break through. I can't pronounce his surname, so I'll stick with Ilya as Lynch gets clear. Half-back flank. Wind has the football away to Baldwin, and Fitzroy out of trouble. They get the ball up to half-forward, where a good mark, an excellent mark is taken for Fitzroy by Fleming.
The hand pass away to Baldwin. Oh, Liberatore, can he tackle? Magnificent tackle. The ball spilling free again. We've got Kazupe.
Dead right, Peter. That was a magnificent tackle from the little fellow. He stood his ground.
He's dynamite, isn't he?
Wow, that was a tackle. Because the guy was on the move.
That's one for the textbook.
He's applied 5 effective tackles, Peter, so far this afternoon.
Matthews wins that one. Armstrong, Broderick, Stevens from a standing start. Over the head of Hunter, Cameron. Inside 50.
I reckon he's a better player on a wing or half-back, Cameron.
I agree.
Ball bounces in the boundary line. Just about on the boundary line. Member stand side. Morris. Wide sweeping turn. Not too many options. Matthews was the best one. Wind. One of Fitzroy's best. Probably about second best past Armstrong. Dundas went through courageously. Fleming picks up the crumbs and has missed from point-blank range.
He's a confident type player, Fleming.
1 goal, 2, has he, Robbo?
Yep. But it could be an important behind because now it's got 19 points.
So Reynolds to do the kicking in for Footscray. We've got 8.5 minutes left in this quarter-final. Kicks the ball clear of hand and foot by 2 metres. As the rule stipulates, springs it around the boundary line. Foster couldn't take it. Cameron from Hawkins. Liberatore, who's lifted. Cretiuk up towards Coleman, who's been busy and has been good right throughout the day.
And he plays on quickly and gets it down to the forward line very directly. Here's a chance for the Bulldogs now. Del Rey to Atkins. Atkins gets past and gives a right foot kick at goal, but misses to the left-hand side. So reasonable build-up by the Bulldogs there, but they did, very importantly, move it quickly down to the forward line. Lynch. Again, it's 18 points the difference. Lynch's kick-in finds Caven, whose opponent was West, so very much a centimetre advantage there for the Fitzroy player. His kick high towards the wing, punched away by Reynolds, gathered by Grant, taken by Cameron.
Grisic going off too, Ian.
Cameron's kick, Coleman a bad fumble. Atkins a chance. Still got it, Simon Atkins, back to Coleman, get rid of it quickly. Oh, come on. Now he does. Around the corner and straight to the Fitzroy player, Matthews at centre half back.
And John Ballantyne coming on to replace Ilya Grigic.
He should be playing in the ruck at some other team because he'll never get his opportunity at Footscray with Wind in the side.
Lynch, and speaking of Wind, there he is. Well, injuries can play a part too, can't they, Don? Mansfield. That trusty left foot down to half forward. Atkins, good use of the body to keep his opponent out. And there's that Ballantyne, yes it is, who's just come onto the ground.
Little fortunate.
And John Ballantyne started at full forward. In the forward pocket with the double-pronged attack they had. Delray, of course, has done most of their scoring. Hawkins takes the hand pass. Chip shot. Baldwin, last line of defence. Good mark. He'll give it to Caven. Gives it back to Baldwin. Over the head of West. And Fitzroy will clear again. So the Lions hanging on to this advantage that they have, looking for a place in the semi-finals. Stevens tries to get the ball clear. Play a leg. I think it was Grant. He'll take the free kick.
Seacamp coming off, guard coming on. Hurry up, Marcus. Seacamp, get off the ground. You're just trotting.
Play on the other side of the ground, so guard's got a fair way to go. Grant looks for Wine. Oh, gee, that's got to be a free kick.
That's about all he could do there, I think, Dundas.
So Scotty Wine to take the free kick at midfield.
Now, doesn't usually kick the football, but he's going to be forced to on this occasion, but it's smothered. Cameron, Hawkins, spins his way out of trouble. Cameron, Hawkins again as a chance.
Oh,
too
what
high.
a tackle. Bad
Hawkins
luck.
will take the free kick, but Fitzroy, Donny, you have to admire that. They were red hot on the footy, weren't they?
They did this against Geelong too in the last quarter. That was a terrific effort by Dundas.
Atkins, long kick towards goal, bounces at the back, and it's punched over by Lynch. And I'm sure, Peter, you're breathing a sigh of relief. Lynch back there on the last line of defence in a crunch situation is a valuable player.
Well, I posed the question before, Robbo, is he better on the forward line or in defence?
Well, with a scoreline of 1-5 against him personally at the other end, you'd have to question that.
Yes.
But they're striving hard to get the ball clear of the Footscray half-forward area. Coleman, not confident, gives it to Atkins, and Atkins kicks a goal for the Bulldogs.
Monday, GST and your house. It's still a mystery to most what effect it will have on building, buying, selling and running the family home. We get to the nitty-gritty. The GST and your house. A 7 nightly news special report, Monday.
The thunder and lightning returns. See the great V8s of Wayne Gardner, Brocky, Johnson and Seaton punch the pedal to the metal. From Amaroo Park, it's round 1 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. See it today, only on 7.
So another thriller in the Foster's Cup, and the 11 points the difference. Fitzroy have answered the challenges all day from Footscray. Can they do it again? Wine trips over his opponent. The ball's there to be won. Stevens to Matthews, who tries to barge through Mansfield, couldn't do so. Liberatore on the bottom of the pack, isn't he always? Atkins has lifted West, runs into trouble. Baldwin tries to fist it out of trouble. Wine, Johnston gets cannoned into by Callan. Atkins goes down at half forward, applies a tackle on Wine. Is that holding the ball? Footscray players asking for it.
Gee,
I think that was a little difficult. They would have balled it up on that occasion, but the rule is that you've got to try and make an attempt if the ball's underneath you. But boy, that was a hard one then.
Atkins, 21 possessions, and certainly more of those have come after half-time than before. He was pretty quiet before the main break, certainly by his standards. Inside the square, tries the torp, doesn't really get onto it, and good safe mark by Ashley Matthews. Over to Caven, who this time does go long. Fleming covering plenty of territory on the outer side of the ground. Kicks to centre wing. Foster tries to spoil, does it effectively. Hunter over to Keenan Reynolds. Coleman in front. Delray gave him backup support. Atkins tries the hand pass. Coleman, who's quicker than most people give him credit for, up to Ballantyne. Lynch is right there with him, wearing him like a glove. Or he runs into Wine. And a trip, says the umpire. Fitzroy free kick in the left back pocket. Nobody would begrudge that to Jimmy Wine, who always goes in solidly after the football.
Yes, possession number 22 coming up for Jimmy Wine. Not a bad kick either, out towards the half-back region. Taken away by Elliott. Elliott's floating punt kick is marked by Hunter. Footscray need to move it direct, and Mark Hunter, no exception here, kicks it up towards Jimmy Wine. Underneath that was Liberatore, and have a look how he got out. But the kick has been marked by Lynch. Lynch, sweeping hand pass. Chance for Morrish. His hand pass over the top to Lyon. Fitzroy may make something out of this. No, the high kick, a little too high. Grant gets rid of Stevens. West is there for Cameron. Cameron's high kick may not be too bad. Sitting under at Mansfield, and he takes a good mark when the pressure was right on. Give the handball off, son. West is running beautifully. Go, Scott West. He can kick this into the goal square, and he does just that. A mark to Footscray, taken there by Valentine.
Norwich could have made more of an effort, I believe, on this centre wing here where Mansfield took the mark.
Valentine kicks the goal. It's 5 points the difference. No, he's going to have to go and do it once again.
The time off was blown.
The umpire had blown
time
on. Well, Valentine couldn't miss from there, and he doesn't.
Tuesday on Australia's Most Wanted. The story of a young woman stalked by a psychotic killer. We'll show you the events that led to her murder. A well-known racing identity is shot. His past criminal connections may have cost him his life. They call him the businessman bandit. His daring disguises and bank-robbing exploits have netted him thousands. Help catch a criminal. Join Ann Sanders for Australia's Most Wanted, 8:30 Tuesday on Channel 7.
2 minutes 56 seconds left in the match. It's less than a kick in it. Footscray have come back. Yet again, 5 points in favour of the Lions.
Well done, Matthews.
Picked up by Krediuk. Coleman goes hard at it. Baldwin stood his ground well. Next goal, if there is to be another one, will be a real, will probably decide the team that goes through to the semis. 2:37 remaining as the clock ticks down. Fitzroy have led pretty well all day. So a bounce inside the centre square. Wine ahead of Matthews. It's all Fitzroy. Armstrong, who's played a magnificent game for Fitzroy.
Now he's being held. Short now. The umpire is right there and says play on.
He let that go. Reynolds gives it to Hunter, who gives it back to Reynolds. A wobbly looking kick off the boot, only travels about 40 metres, 2-on-1 in favour of Fitzroy. Baldwin gives it over to McCarthy, who gives it back to Baldwin. Valuable possessions for the Lions.
Well done, Ruse.
Dundas gets grabbed. Was he in possession?
Have a guess who applied the tackle.
No points
tackle
for that.
number 6 for Tony Liberatore.
It's going to be a bounce to stop Fitzroy's run. Matthews gets front position. Wine taps it down to Grant, who had no room to move. West again.
Great smother.
Liberatore. Cameron, away he goes. Can Footscray get the goal?
Well, he's got to hang on to it and draw a player towards him because Kellett is there. No, he gives the kick away now, and it's Valentine. They've got 2-on-1 down in the goal square, and Valentine summed it up pretty well. Del Rey, no, good mark, excellent mark.
Oh, that was a pressure
taken
situation.
By Guard. And Guard kicks it wide. Fleming, Lyon, 1 minute 10 left. Up towards the wing. Wine stands his ground, and that takes an excellent mark. Back to Foster. Foster in towards centre half forward. Coleman. At the back, Atkins. Kellett. It hits him on the shins. Rebounds into a very much a tight situation where Armstrong has the football and the umpire will be forced to bounce. So it's just forward of the centre in Footscray's forward half with less than 1 minute left in the game.
And less than a goal the difference. We don't have draws, of course, in the Foster's Cup. I think we'll get one here. Held him.
Well, this helps Fitzroy's case because the clock's ticking down. 34 seconds left.
I thought that was the siren. It was a train.
I get my sirens and my trains mixed up.
Good one.
A little bit of...
So a bounce at half forward for Footscray. Wind. Good use of the body. Short kick. Armstrong gets tackled by West. 2 Fitzroy players are there. McCarthy's on the bottom of the pack. And again, they tie it up.
19 seconds, 18.
I think they're there.
Oh, you never know. Out of this ruck contest,
My
a
word.
quick kick and they take a mark.
Well,
This Wine's trying to take it out of the air.
A free kick or something here. Coleman. Now they've got to take the mark if he can kick it.
Yes!
Now Reynolds.
It's too far out.
He's a mile out from goal. There's the siren. He'll have a kick. Dave McNamara couldn't kick that.
You better tell us who Dave McNamara was.
He can kick the ball a long way, Robbo. He was around a long way before we were. we were thought of. From Benalla, I think he came.
Well, I tell you what, Keenan Reynolds could put his name in the record book if he can kick it.
Yes, it'll raise Dave McNamara's name. He held the record for many years, the longest ever kick. That didn't quite make the distance predictably, and so Fitzroy have won another thrilling Foster's Cup match as they've emerged victorious by 5 points, 13-17, 95 to 13-12, 90 to advance to the semi-finals. But a courageous effort by both sides, Robbo. Fitzroy answered all challenges.
Well, I think it was a fair result, and I don't think Don would disagree that Fitzroy controlled the game and led by a greater margin.
Well, they led at every quarter change, didn't they? And they increased their lead, except for the last quarter. And certainly I picked Footscray to win because I thought they had a few more stars in the side, but they're a dogged team, Fitzroy. They just do not give up at all.
Well, they're very, very happy with themselves, and little wonder, because it's been a good victory against the odds. I think Footscray probably would have started favourites, but you can never, like, I believe in hunger, Peter, in sport, and Fitzroy are very, very hungry at the moment, aren't they?
Let's take a look at the draw for the Foster's Cup. Footscray and Fitzroy. Well, Fitzroy emerging victorious today, and they play the winner of the clash next Wednesday night. The venue for that will be announced tomorrow. It is sit down for Waverley, but of course we know what's happened in the past 2 weeks. That is between Hawthorn and Richmond. Whatever happens, you will see it on 7 at 8:30 Eastern Summer Time. Well, as I said, a top match today. We've had plenty of them in the Foster's Cup so far this year. And, of course, don't forget the Australian Touring Car Championships, the first round for season 1993, and that follows the football here at Kardinia Park. It was a thriller. Fitzroy emerging victorious. They led pretty well all day. I guess in the eyes of many, perhaps they would have been robbed had they lost the game here today. But full credit to Footscray for a great fight back. A tremendous match from Kardinia Park. We hope you've enjoyed it.
This has been a 7 Sport production.